The Donald appears to be winning the modern conflict of the modern era, where it appears to be Western God-fearing patriots against homosexuals and Muslims. Sometimes homosexual Muslims. Those are the most dangerous, some would argue. But the truth of the matter is, we are obliterating them in the Middle East. They are flooding into our countries. They are winning little elections because they are galvanizing other Muslims to vote for them. The truth of the matter is, God did not bless them statistically with high IQs, but God did bless them with the ability to absolutely manipulate dipshits in the United States and in Europe. So ultimately, it's a battle for the future of civilization, and it's over. It's over. Welcome to It's Over, episode 4,004,762. We will today be talking about how Allah keeps making sure Muslims lose. It's almost like Allah doesn't want them to win. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if it's possibly means something a little more nefarious. So definitely subscribe, and note, this video is not monetized on YouTube. I can't possibly figure out why, but my channels are fully demonetized, and all the support you guys show me on Patreon, on Kick, on Rumble, it means the world to me. It's all linked in my description, and I mean, I'll be real. I'm doing deep dives on the Quran right now, and oh my God, the stuff you find in there is wild. So anyway, I figure you might as well take a good read of the battle manual of the enemy of Western civilization, and it so far has been paying in dividends. So lock in, boys and girls, and let's jump right into the fray. The Donald went viral for this quote, and I will be real with you. I didn't believe it when I first saw it. I was like, there's no way Donald Trump looked at a reporter and said, "Don't ever talk again." Well,
Are you reconsidering her role?
I don't know what you don't. You're fake news. Don't ever talk again. You're fake news. One of the
Mr.
one
President,
of the worst in the business.
my life is yours,
Fortunately,
Mr.
nobody
President.
watches you.
Absolute, and he's right. I don't even know who he was talking about. Don't ever talk again, bro. Absolute legend, by the way. All right, he's also been going viral for this one today.
And I'll tell you what, if I were ever, I'd be the greatest.
By the way, I have to show you these clips before we talk about the people that are trying to overthrow America. All right, we got an unbelievable amount of treasonous bitches in the United States right now. We got a new party forming. We got Iran getting obliterated. But I have to show you why he's the best to ever do it.
Women's basketball coach in history. Because I don't like LeBron James. I like Michael Jordan much better. But I'd go up to LeBron James. It doesn't matter. I'd say, LeBron, did you ever have any desire to be a woman? Because what I'd love you to do is star on my team that I'm building up. I will have the greatest team in history. They'll never lose. Nobody will come within 70
love this
points
guy.
of this team. Now we have to change that, and we have to make it okay to talk about it. You know,
He's just a walking banger machine. Checkmate, liberals. Oh my, I would die for this man. All right, anyway, so the point that I'm trying to make is the Donald has always had it. Now, someone obviously doesn't like that Donald Trump, despite the fact that the media is making believe that everything's falling apart. He is eliminating our threats. He is reorganizing the entire global order in regards to how the United States of America is literally on top of the world. China's our bitch. Russia's cooked. Iran is done. Venezuela is now our little buddy. All right, Cuba's in darkness. All right, literally all of our adversaries are falling apart. We've rearranged the world order. Jobs are coming back. And the truth of the matter is, his approval ratings are literally higher than any other president in their second term in the recent decades. So they're trying to kill him again.
Another Fox News alert. A heavily armed man was arrested outside Trump National Golf Course in California ahead of the president's visit. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has the details. Kevin.
Evening, Jesse. An armed man said to be monitoring security planning activities arrested on Sunday with a cache of weapons and body armor. This is all happening outside of Trump National Golf Course just a couple of days before the president's visit to the course in California. 38-year-old Janine John Taylor from Downey, California, taken into custody in Ranchos Palos Verdes by plainclothes FBI agents after they spotted his suspicious activity. Now, agents observed Taylor walking through the golf course grounds, taking photos and videos, appearing to monitor security planning activities. They also found him with an illegally modified AR platform rifle, a couple of radio signal devices, a 1911, body armor, high-capacity mags, hollow point ammo, and multiple notebooks containing, quote, concerning statements. Taylor's vehicle was also searched, and deputies say they recovered a loaded pistol with a chambered round in the car, along with more ammunition.
The left, the party of violence. That's right. For those of you that are unaware, they're just terrorists now. They've dropped the facade.
Now, Taylor also had a prior run-in with law enforcement, a robbery charge out of El Segundo. As you know, the president is in Southern California to headline an RNC fundraising dinner.
Yeah, anyway, so this is a mugshot of the heavily armed possible assassin at the Trump National Golf Club, released along with the photo of his firearms. Janine John Taylor was detained after being seen taking photos and video of security planning the thing and trying to kill the president. Now, this to me looks like a straight white Christian male if I've ever seen one. This is the most straight white Christian male I've ever seen, actually. You know, he's tied for radical Zionist Jew Israeli. All right, he's either it's either one or the other. I was talking to Candace Owens, and she was telling me that there's no way. She saw the footage. It was very blurry. It probably isn't a gun. It actually fires very small Rode microphones that explode, actually, for those of you that are unaware. That is actually how this operates. Now, the truth of the matter is, this is once again leftist violence, because the left is violent. They love terrorism. They have no morals. They're evil, and they want you to die. Now, I'll have Shoe on Head call me out and be like, Nuxanor thinks all the left is evil. And yeah, thank you for your attention to this matter. I always appreciate when someone represents my position properly. Yes, I do believe leftism is an inherently evil position. Now, you can be a leftist and just be a dumbass and not realize that you're evil, but it is an inherently evil ideology. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's why the terrorists keep popping out all the time. All right, now, the Donald discussed our negotiations with Iran.
We're moving along very nicely. We'll find out. We'll know in 48 hours.
In 48 hours, we will know if Iran is still going to be a country or if they are instead going to simply be in the pages of the history book. It's pretty diabolical. Now, the Donald says that gas prices are about to drop tremendously because within the next 48 hours, we are either getting a deal or there will not be an Iran.
Where the strait is opened up, they'll never have a nuclear weapon. But if the strait opens up, and it's partially opened anyway, and as you know, we control the strait totally through the blockade. But if we have no friction, then oil will go down to, I think it'll go down to $2.50 a gallon, $2.50. You know, it was down to 185 before I had to make this little journey to the Islamic Republic of Iran. I had to make it. We had the best numbers that anybody's ever seen. But now you take a look, with that going on, we have you just hit to get today, I think it's number 79 days. We hit an all-time stock market high.
Yep.
401ks are the highest they've ever been by double and triple.
Yep.
And then I read where we're doing badly on the economy. By the way, job numbers. We have more people working in the United States today than ever in history. We're doing it.
Well, we're talking about Americans. More Americans working today than ever in history. The foreigners are going. Now, the truth of the matter is, this war is obviously hurting our gas prices and hurting our economy for sure. But it would hurt it a lot more if they had nukes. And then they could close the Strait of Hormuz and we would never be able to open it literally ever. So the truth is, we got to understand the context here. And the context is the southern route through the Strait of Hormuz remains free and open for all commercial vessels seeking to transit the international waterway. Over the past 3 months, U.S. forces have assisted more than 1,000 vessels in successfully transiting through the strait despite the unwarranted Iranian aggression. Now, in my opinion, everyone that phrases this as, Iran is, now Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, they didn't control it before. You're all wrong. Iran always controlled the Strait of Hormuz. They were just not committing acts of terror. Now they're committing acts of terror, and the world is like, that's Trump's fault that Iran are terrorists and blowing up civilians. Actually, no. It's a false ideological premise from the beginning. Every single person that says that, well, now Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, now Iran is a regional superpower, they're all wrong. Iran is weaker than it's ever been. They're just doing terrorism, and the world is like, well, it's Trump's fault that they're doing terrorism because Trump is trying to stop terrorists from getting nukes. And it is an entirely false premise, and I am so tired of the commie gobbledygook that's being globbled down our throats from every single corner of the internet. You get it from like the right-wing anti-war people. By the way, anti-war is a bullshit stance. It's not a real position. All right. I'm anti-war. Yeah, well, I'm anti-rape.
Got him. I'm anti-rape.
What's your stance?
Anti-rape. Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's a bullshit stance for low IQ people that are trying to manipulate people. I'm also anti-war, but I'm even more anti literally a regime that wants nuclear weapons to destroy us. To have nuclear weapons, you know, whether you like it or not. Anyway, the Donald said he had a very unconventional plan in how he's going to punish Iran. And when the Donald does something unconventional, you know bro is going to whip out the discombobulator and it's going to go crazy.
Fox News alert, the big kahuna has been called off. Trump and Iran back at the table.
We had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous for them. And they didn't want us to do it. They said, please don't do it. And their neighbors said that too. And so we're just going to see whether or not we can make it, toward the denuclearization.
Over the weekend, Trump said we were locked and loaded, but...
So what actually happened? We'll get there.
Again. The
It's
Dow
bad.
topped 700 points, closing at an all-time high. Oil's down to $80 a barrel. Trump says peace is
But I was told that oil was going to get to 250 because they closed the Strait of Hormuz.
good for business.
We're ready to go anytime we want. Would I rather make a deal? I'm not looking to kill people. Because people die. A lot of people die.
Humanitarian.
In the meantime, CENTCOM's thinking up creative, unconventional ways to punish Iran.
Uh-oh.
All options on the table. One source said that Trump even floated a firework display of airstrikes. Once the president gives the green light, our boys are ready to rock and roll. U.S. paratroopers are conducting small arms training in the Middle East, keeping their skills sharp and lethal. The Army's Chinook helicopters are moving men in firepower, equipped with a howitzer cannon, the fastest bird alive. In the water, our sailors are practicing deep sixing enemy ships, firing Harpoon cruise missiles off attack submarines. Watch this.
God damn.
Oh, you love to see it. You love to see it. Man, you know what this video is? This is a video of Iran winning. You know how I know? I watched Myron Gaines say that. Woo! Look at all that Iran winning. Cenk Uygur told me that Iran was winning. That's a lot of Iran winning. Damn. Holy shit, if Iran would win any more, then there would be no country left. That's crazy. God damn. Holy crap.
U.S. forces have eyes everywhere enforcing the wall of steel. They can't sail the strait without us knowing about it.
Captain, you are requested to alter course to 190. If you do not comply, we will compel compliance with force.
That's a very nice way to say we're gonna take your shit.
4-5, we will
Is Iran tired of winning? That is the question.
monitor your course for compliance at this time. Warship 4-5 standing by on 16 out.
If any ship doesn't comply, say hello to the F-35.
Look at that bad boy. Look at that beautiful bastard. Ah, schmiblets.
The blockade
Look at that gorgeous
2.0
piece
has
of metal.
turned away 44 ships and disabled a deuce, bankrupting Iran hundreds of millions of dollars a day. No more shopping sprees
Holy shit, all that winning and Iran's gonna have no money afterwards. That's crazy.
for the gay Ayatollah.
Oh, that's rough.
Speaking of, he better play ball.
This is the last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is the last chance for them to sign a good document. I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. It's very tough to do what we have planned, still planned.
Now, for those of you that are unaware, the reason why this is being discussed right now is actually because we have a brand new look into what was actually going on behind the scenes. How's their currency right now? They don't have a currency. So this is pretty insane. So Pete Hegseth called out CNN for literally promoting Iranian propaganda. This is the craziest thing ever. Pete Hegseth says, that banner is not true, CNN. Shame on you. You don't hate the fake news enough. The CNN banner says sources In other words, they don't actually name the source. The U.S. has used nearly 80% of its key missile interceptors in Iran war. Top commanders' warn stockpile is dangerously low. Again, this is not only a way to get Iran to keep firing, because they're going to be like, holy shit, we're going to win. It is really nice. We use we catapult camels into the enemy. We fill the camel's anus with explosives. We launch the camels, and they have to use interception missiles. Intercept the flying camel in the air. It costs us $20 a camel. It's very cheap stuff. We $20 for a camel, and they have to spend $5,000 for a camel interceptor missile, which is much more expensive. We will continue ladening our camels with explosives through the anus. And we are going... Okay, all right, I'm not going to get any more graphic on YouTube. If you want more graphic, you should go to Patreon, where I am currently analyzing the entire Quran. It gets hairy over there. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is, this is treasonous, in my opinion. They are first of all, it might be fake. It might be true. I don't know. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know if Pete Hegseth is lying. I don't know if CNN is lying. Obviously, I have my opinion on who's lying, but regardless, we don't actually know who's lying. So let's, for the sake of argument, say that it's true. If it's true, why the hell would you be giving Iran a reason to not make a deal and a reason to keep firing at our soldiers? This is CNN saying, hey, Iran, it's working. Keep doing this shit. Like, again, it's unbelievably evil. But if you want to know the real reason why we didn't completely decapitate Iran, it's because of this.
In the region, as the Middle East waits to see if a deal will be reached or we'll see a return to war. Guys?
So Trey, real quickly, the president talked about the military operation that was leaked over the weekend. It's obviously, they need to figure out who's leaking from the White House. That has to be someone high within government that put that out there to sources. It's our job as the press to cover that. But I'm curious from your perspective and your sources on the state of play that league played out in the Middle East, and who then phoned the White House to get to the negotiating table.
It's a great question, because these leaks can be substantial, and when you're looking at a situation with 50,000 U.S. service members, destroyers, refuelers, fighter jets across the region, the operational security is very significant whenever there are plans being made to strike Iran. And the president indicated he called off the planned strikes at the request not only of Iran, but also of Gulf allies like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. What was interesting, though, Lawrence, we spoke with senior Israeli intelligence officials over the weekend who said they weren't even aware of the details of the plan. And that's how close the administration was holding these details to the chest.
So you're saying that Israel has such tight control over the United States government that they didn't even know that they were planning on obliterating the entire regime? That's crazy.
Because of how sensitive it is in the region.
And yet, there was some guy high up in the government that literally leaked this shit to the enemy. And now the enemy is at the table, allegedly. Yeah, right.
So moving forward, we do anticipate the Trump administration will do everything possible to ensure that they're not giving Iran a heads up. They want to keep the Iranians guessing as these diplomatic pathways play out, understanding that if the talks fail, we are likely looking at a return to combat operations.
So obviously, Trey, we are seeing the White House trying to keep their cards close to the vest, but there is also a tremendous buildup. We've watched a tremendous buildup over the last...
Yeah, so anyway, there are 3 theories that I have immediately when I hear this kind of thing. Theory 1, it's all true. That we were going to obliterate Iran. Someone leaked it. Iran now knows. Now they begged for peace. They're on their knees. Please, sir, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, I beg of you. Did you hear about what Al-Zut did to Mohammed? We will do that to you as many times as you want, Mr. President. No, I don't swing that way. I have a nice goat in the other room. It'll be fine. Anyway, so ultimately, that's option 1. Option 2, this was a way to hunt for a mole. They literally gave specific individuals classified fake information about obliterating Iran to see if that information would get back to Iran. And it did. So now maybe they actually hunted a mole in their actual ranks. That's option 2. Option 3, they lied about the decapitation strike. They fake leaked it so Iran would get scared shitless and make a deal. Those are the 3 ways I see it. I don't know, obviously, which one is true. But regardless, I want to see someone get strung up for treason. I'm really tired of just endless treason with no consequences. Now, speaking of treason, Tucker Carlson came out here with a brand new announcement. He is starting a new party in the United States of America. So former Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Trader Greene says, we said no more foreign wars. What the fuck does this even mean? I love, like, whenever you see a statement like this, you know they're gaslighting you. All right, I'm not allowed to call it the R-word party on YouTube, all right? Because, listen, man, I'm doing my best here. I'm a good man. I'm reformed. But, like, bro, literally, bro. So we said no more foreign wars. What does this even mean, no more foreign wars? I don't want any conflict that doesn't directly benefit the United States, period. All right? So what does this even mean? If Iran has been trying to kill us for, 47 years, and they're trying to develop nuclear weapons, what are we supposed to... Oh, the war is foreign. We have to let them have a nuke. What are we even talking about? So anyway, and we meant it, and we supported Donald Trump because he made that promise. Donald Trump has been saying he wanted to destroy Iran for over 40 years. 40 years. When we invaded Iraq, he said, why are we invading Iraq? We should be doing this to Iran. He literally has been saying this consistently for 40 years. He said no new wars. He said no stupid wars. He said no long wars. He didn't say no wars if an enemy is trying to get a nuke to destroy us. Like what are we even doing, guys? But he's betrayed us all. Our commitment is America first for all Americans. Right, left, and center. The movement has begun. Interesting. So essentially, Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to start a new party. It's the Qatar party, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying. It's the anti-America party. I mean, it's anti-Israel party. We're just gonna make believe that it's all Israel's the problem with all the things, bro. Literally, oh my god, it's their whole personality. By the way, you just look at their Twitter accounts, every single one of these people, and it's unreal. MAGA was betrayed. MAGA was betrayed. We all were. It's time for a new path forward. More tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's like, bro literally cosplayed a lesbian for this role. I'm not gonna lie, bro. And the comments are destroying them, like absolutely destroying them. Holy shit, it's crazy. Get in, loser. We're going losing. Woo, boy, baby, it's gonna be big. That's right, everybody. And it's like, it's such a joke because you look at the actual people here. All right, so you got, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who lost every single time unless she got the Trump endorsement, and then when Trump revoked his endorsement, she lost. Okay, you got Tucker Carlson, who literally has 90% Pakistan audience. All right, you got Joe Kent, who quit from counterterrorism because he's a total bitch, who ran for election multiple times and lost every time. You got Thomas Massey, who, let me remind you, could not win a primary in Kentucky. Dog, what are we doing? When are you reading the names of the Epstein pedophiles, bro? When are you doing this? The Timu Avengers have gathered together to talk about how Israel is bad on podcasts. Like, what are we even doing? These are not serious people. Like, what are we? It's unreal. It's wild. Tucker Carlson's network says we were betrayed, but we can still rebuild America. Tucker explains how. Right, yeah. Rebuild America after the Great Betrayal. Wow, the Great Betrayal. What's the Great Betrayal? Trump trying to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon like he literally said he was planning on doing for the last 40 years. That's right, baby. The Legion of Coom. It's gonna be crazy, everybody. So the Tucker over here decided to make an entire video yesterday with this guy, with Daryl Cooper. And it's like, oh boy, I can't wait until you hear the hits from this one, because he's probably gonna talk about America, right? He's gonna talk about like the Save America Acts. Why do you not like Massey? Because Massey said nothing about Epstein for 4 years, and then he called Trump a pedophile for the last year, making believe that Trump is the only person that's hiding the Epstein files when he was silent about it for 4 years. That's why. Because he's never, ever actually passed a single law ever in the history of his tenure in the Senate, in Congress. Never, by the way. Not one. All right? Bro's out there. I'm going to go out and read names. So read some names, motherfucker. Until you read some names. I don't want to hear from you, bro. All right? Anyway, so checking in on Tucker Carlson's favorite historian. All right, so this is Daryl Cooper, Martyr Maid. Wow, I'm very excited to hear what Martyr Maid has to say about things. Notoriously, his pinned tweet is talking about how jihad and Mein Kampf are the same struggle. Bro, what are we doing? So anyway, so Daryl Cooper claims that the backlash against Islam, the people that are raping and killing and invading our countries, it's actually a Jewish op to trick you into hating Muslims that rape you.
One of the saddest things and grossest things that really has come out of just the last couple of years of the recent things going on since Gaza. I mean, it's
Gaza.
When you look back on it, it's been going back. It's gone back further than that, but it's really intensified. Where as Israel has lost support, they have really they've lessened the propaganda that comes from the direction of sort of justifying and explaining and building up support for what they're doing, and directed it instead toward just building up more and more hatred of Muslims. And
every time you get raped by a Muslim, you should note a Jew is convincing you to hate them. It's not the invasion of the entire Western world. It's not the 250,000 British girls that were raped. It's not the fact that rapes have skyrocketed in every single European country that has migration laws. It's not the conquest of our actual cities. It's not Dearborn, Michigan literally becoming a terrorist breeding ground. Dog, the Jews are so powerful that the Jews are able to use their Muslim manipulation jutsu to telekinetically control them, to get them to invade our nations. That's right.
Islam in general. I mean, you see this from people like Laura Loomer and other types who their whole thing is just, we need to get Christians to hate Muslims, because if they do that, then their enemies are our enemies, and we don't have to think past that. And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I never thought I would be the defender of Muslims. It never occurred.
Yeah, me neither. You know why? Because you were literally on Fox News for 40 years talking about how Islam is a threat to the West. But now you love Muslims. You have a house in Qatar.
To me? Since I'm not a Muslim and I'm not going to become a Muslim.
I'm not going to become
the
a Muslim.
idea that Christians and Jews have gotten along this whole time, and that we have to band together to protect ourselves against the Muslims, is a very recent notion. This wasn't something that was ever posited like before the 20th century. That part is brand new. And it comes from...
Notoriously, the Muslims have always been peaceful with the Christians. Notoriously, no Muslim has ever instigated violence against a Christian. Are you aware of that?
The Jewish talking points that you see on the television.
The Jewish talking points, like Muslims keep trying to invade Europe and rape people. Allegedly. I wouldn't say that, but obviously I'm just saying.
The news constantly.
TPUSA did a poll, and they asked the audience, what they considered to be the greatest threat to America. And they did put radical Islam at number one. I'm wondering where you think those sentiments are coming from. You say before that this is an op, and that we all know which foreign government it's actually coming from. Which government is it? It kind of lured into those.
From the Israeli government.
There it is.
Islamic Jihad, whatever that is.
Anyway, pretty diabolical. All right, you got Muslims literally massacring Christians throughout the Middle East right now, raping Christians throughout the Western world literally right now, invading. Spain was just invaded by Muslims. But get ready for this one, baby, because actually, you buffoon, the Muslims that were invading Spain, well, actually, that was the Jews. You're right. You probably thought that's what I was going to say, and you're right. That is what I'm going to say.
All of which leads to what's happening in Spain. So Spain just had part of a longstanding, like the biggest wave of a longstanding invasion of like 50,000 people over the course of just hours from Morocco.
That's pretty crazy.
And this, in the days following, it became really clear that this was not organic at all, that the Israeli government and the U.S. government, well, obviously knew this was happening, and basically both governments were using mass migration as a weapon against a government that they don't like for various reasons, mostly.
Bro, what are we even doing, man? Like, first of all, there's no evidence to this, by the way. All right, like I wish that there was evidence. I wish that Tucker Carlson could like show sources, but he can't because there's no evidence to this. That's one. And two, maybe the reason why the U.S. and Israel have problems with Spain is because they're radical commie leftists right now. Have you considered that? Have you considered that perhaps the radical leftists that say that Israel has to open its borders to the Palestinians and shouldn't fight back against Islamic terrorists, and the Spanish that are like, no, America cannot use our military bases. No, we're not going to fund NATO. Yeah, we're going to be gay. Yeah, we're going to give citizenship to 500,000 migrants. Yeah, we're going to literally have our borders open all the time. No, it was the Jews.
Because it's anti-Israel. And people were shocked to discover this. Were you shocked to discover that?
No one was shocked to discover this because it's not even real.
Again, kinda. I shouldn't be at this point, but yeah, kinda. I still am always shocked. I guess
I was so shocked when the Jews used their Muslim mind control techniques to make 50,000 autonomous slaves, because it's not like they have free will, all right, to just wander into the open border of Spain. That the border was open because obviously the Jews, not only did they mind control the Muslims, the hordes, but they also mind controlled the gatekeepers of Spain to let them in and not deport them. That's right. It's a gigantic, nefarious plan.
It's a good thing. I always look at it as a good thing. The fact that I'm still capable of being shocked.
It's just exactly the opposite of what we've been told.
It's also not true. Like, they've established a false premise, and now they're building upon the premise that's not even real.
It's a pretty clear story that they've been telling. Propagandists in this country have been telling for the last, 10 years at least, really since 9/11, that we have to support Israel because they are the bulwark against, the defense against what we just saw happen in Spain. Like,
no? Why is Israel supposed to get Spain to close its fucking gates? It's Israel's fault that Spain does not have a border? What do you want me? Like, this is crazy. It's absolute insanity. Holy shit. Israel, by the way, fighting like a 5-direction war against neighbors that are all trying to kill them. All right. And it's like, and Israel didn't even stop the Moroccans from entering Spain. Like, what are we even doing? Now, get ready for this, because the historian gets even better.
Like, they blow up the Temple Mount and then launch a nuke against Iran.
None of that happened, by the way.
But I guess the reason I've always thought it was a possibility is because Israel can't lose, as you just said. Like, they've spent so many years hyping the threat against them falsely.
Falsely hyping the threat against them? My guy, Israel was literally attacked by Hamas and the Hezbollah and the Houthis and Iran. What are we fucking doing here? A fake threat? Like, bro, what are we even doing? Like, this is just demonstrably not reality.
Telling stories to themselves and the rest.
Oh, you're just telling yourself stories about Hamas killing 1,300 Jews in a day and kidnapping another 300 of them. Oh, you're tricking yourself into thinking that that's not a good thing.
To the world about how, they're just one moment away from being eliminated. It's always been fake. But now it feels like it's getting closer to true.
Holy shit, what are we even doing here? Anyway, it gets worse. So this is him talking about how us attacking Iran was just like how Japan attacked us on Pearl Harbor.
The secrecy and the sneak attack that we started the Iran war off with. For the president of the United States.
Sneak attack. Sneak attack! 1 week before our sneak attack, and the Iranian guy literally told our negotiators that they had enough enriched uranium to build 9 nuclear bombs. By the way, 1 week before we eliminated their leadership.
United States to compare the way we just correctly, in my view, compare the way we began this war to the day that shall live in infamy. And to think back, to Pearl Harbor.
Almost no commentary in the fact it was a Pearl Harbor that we committed.
Oh, it was a Pearl Harbor that we committed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Pearl Harbor was an act of aggression against us. We were not a threat to Japan, whereas this is literally going against a regime that chants death to America every day, that burns our flags in their parliament, that says they want to build a nuke to kill us, that calls us the Great Satan, that, by the way, they've killed thousands of Americans through themselves, through their bombs, the roadside bombs in Iraq, through their Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas. They have killed thousands of Americans, okay? Like, we haven't done that to Japan before Pearl Harbor. So anyway, so it's a totally different thing. But what if I told you that not only does Tucker Carlson think that this is a Pearl Harbor, but also he thinks that Pearl Harbor was fake?
People would say, oh, Roosevelt knew that the Japanese were going to attack Oahu in December of 1941. I was like, you must be crazy. Well, it turns out that's true. 1941, when we got into the war, when Roosevelt allowed Pearl Harbor to happen.
We allowed Pearl Harbor to happen?
She did.
We knew to the morning that Pearl Harbor was going to get to.
It's clear there was foreknowledge of Pearl Harbor.
Obviously.
It's just absolutely clear.
It's absolutely clear. And I have no evidence, but it's definitely clear. MP, thanks for the 5 subs. Absolutely clear. So us attacking Iran is just like Japan attacking us Pearl Harbor, but also Pearl Harbor was fake and gay. All right, I hope you're aware. Now, this is Daryl Cooper saying that the Bolsheviks, he means the Jews, erected a statue of Judas because obviously it's a war on Christianity, even though the Jews that were Bolsheviks were atheist communists.
And it's something that, when the Bolsheviks took over in Russia, one of the first things they did, this is 1920, I think. So very, very early on, they built a statue to Judas Iscariot in Moscow.
What?
Yeah. And this is
No, by the way, for the record, no, that didn't happen. This is literally just not real.
at the same time they're burning down churches, massacring priests.
They built a statue to Judas?
Yeah, I was surprised. I
was also surprised because this didn't actually happen. So yeah, no, obviously, I was very surprised too because, you know, it didn't happen. Now here we go. And they keep going. All right, this is a clip of them discussing how Holocaust education is bad because the purpose of Holocaust education is to propagandize Jews to hate everyone else. See, I don't like the idea of making the Holocaust just the only tragedy in the history of the world. Nothing else is as bad as the Holocaust ever. We can't talk about anything because the Holocaust happened. I don't like that. But saying that the reason why the Holocaust is taught is to trick Jews into hating the Goyim, brother, like, we are living in clown world, actual clown world. All right, so this is Tucker Carlson saying that he wants China to become a world superpower.
And then we have to deal with whatever comes next. A world run by China. Okay. So that seems like it's going to...
Or, I mean, the lesson of this might be that nobody's going to run the world.
Well, that's exactly right. And in the eastern part of the world run by China, which seems natural to me anyway. But because they've got a bigger economy than we do. So, like, why wouldn't they control the South China Sea? I don't really understand why we're fighting what's inevitable. And if we didn't want that, then probably should have done something to prevent China from becoming a bigger economy.
Oh, I'm glad you noticed. That's why we toppled Iran and Venezuela, and now they don't get oil from there, and they buy oil from us. What are we even doing? Now, again, this is same Tucker Carlson in 2020 talking about how we have to face China.
A few years from now, when every last victim of this virus has recovered or been buried, the Chinese government could easily grow stronger because of this disaster and America weaker. China unleashes a pandemic and then overtakes the U.S. as a result. That's too horrible an outcome to contemplate and too dangerous for us. We ought to do everything we can to make certain it does not happen.
Be real.
So in 2020, we cannot let China become powerful. In 2026, we totally have to let China become powerful.
A big power wants to control, hopefully in a non-brutal, enlightened way, but they want some influence over their neighbors. We can no longer be the sole author of terms, of commerce, of anything. We have to share power.
With China.
Of course.
Of course, bro. This dude is such a fraud. It's insane. Now, by the way, I come with the receipts. When I called out Tucker Carlson back in the day, everyone was saying, Nux, you're only saying you're critical of Israel and you're paid off by the Mossad and stuff. Dog, this guy is an enemy of America. I am not even kidding. Okay, this is them talking about how Zelensky banned Christians.
Since I feel so terrible for the...
Because he's saying this because he's a Russian propagandist, by the way.
For the people in Ukraine. You know, your average nationalist in Ukraine who thinks that this is what he's doing.
I know.
But he's serving the forces that are actually attacking it. And it's just very sad.
Well, and of course, the very first thing the Zelensky government did was ban the largest Christian denomination and put priests in jail. So it's impossible.
No, that's not the first thing they did.
Not to see the Zelensky project, which is not Ukrainian in any sense.
I think he only learned the Ukrainian language something like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, the whole thing's absurd.
He grew up with speaking the Ukrainian language. It was his first language. Like, every word that he says is a lie. Again, I'm not even a fan of Zelensky.
Yeah.
But he's the Trotsky of Ukraine. Okay, fine. But it's the same as the French Revolution and the...
Yeah, exactly the same as the French Revolution. Anyway, so Marjorie Taylor Greene is another person in the losers party with all these guys, all these anti-American dipshits, all these fuckers. All right, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene is there too, and let me say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, after making $30+ million in Congress on a $100,000 a year salary somehow, no one knows how. Well, she has decided to become a prostitute.
Hi everyone, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I am excited to let you know I am now on Cameo. So if you have a special message for a friend or a loved one, I would love to deliver it for you, or any other message for anyone. How do you do it, you ask? You just click on the link and follow the instructions, and we'll be on our way.
Dog, what is this, bro? What are we doing here? Actually unreal, brother. So yeah, anyway, she's a prostitute now for the America Party or whatever they want to call it. This is her on Cameo, all right? For $149 in 24 hours, she will be able to get you the nasaliest fucking embarrassing video of all time. That's right, baby. For 7 spots, you could do it. President Trump literally turned her into a hooker in like 30 seconds, destroyed her. All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene also has been going around on Podcastistan explaining to everyone why she does think that Israel killed Charlie Kirk.
But I will be honest with you. I very much think Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson, getting the two different ones mixed up. Tyler Robinson, of course, I think is involved in some sort of way, obviously. But I am very much compelled by the lapel mic stories.
What about the lapel mic stories is compelling? Because I have watched videos of Israel using their pagers to blow up Hezbollah terrorists, right, to blow their balls off. There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of exploding. There's fire. And none of that happened with Charlie. The lapel mic was on the wrong side of his body. His neck got shot on the left side, and his lapel was on the right side. Like, there is no source. There is no evidence here. I do believe that Tyler Robinson was on the roof there with his gun and shit, but I think that he was blown up by a little microphone on his... Like, what are we doing?
I'm also...
They found the bullet inside him!
An owner. And I've shot a 30-06 multiple times, and I know the damage that bullet does. And so it's hard for me to go along with the traditional narrative.
You do realize that 30-06 was the bullet that literally killed... what's his name? The black guy. And it didn't go out. There was no exit wound. Martin Luther King. There was no exit wound, bro. It shot him in the jaw, and it didn't exit. Okay? Like, dude, this is unreal.
And I also, I think there's more there, and I think
we're still giving women rights in 2026. What are we doing?
Investigation seems to have been held back.
Really?
And I don't think we have the full story.
Understood. We don't have the full story. Literally, dog, we didn't even have a freaking trial yet. We didn't even see the footage. This is insane.
I just want to kind of, I guess, make a point on that.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. So, and then she keeps yammering and jammering how it's actually the Jews and Israel and stuff like that. Even Nick Fuentes is like Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey, Joe Kent, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think there is a constituency for whatever this is outside social media. Massey lost his primary. Kent never won a race. Marjorie Taylor Greene sold out for Kevin McCarthy and got rug pulled by Trump. What's the message? Are they all just like gonna keep begging the left to like them? Who's next in the movement? Cenk Uygur. In fact, I made that same joke too, because Cenk Uygur, not only does Cenk Uygur love Joe Kent, and also Cenk Uygur was invited onto Tucker Carlson's podcast a couple of times. But Cenk Uygur throws his fat ass into the ring, baby. On tonight's The Youngsters, Joe Kent said the group that met at Tucker Carlson's house is trying to convince Tucker to run. That's right, baby. Cenk Uygur joining the fray. Chunky Yogurt has once again gotten himself involved. The new pro-America party is Turks and Qataris and communists and traitors. Lock-in, boys and girls, is gonna be a bumpy ride. Holy crapaloni. And that's why you have to watch Nuxanor, because I'm not afraid to make enemies with these fucks. I've been doing it my entire career, and it's always been entertaining. Now, we face an existential threat to our nation, not from only within the right, but from the left as well, the far left. The cripple fight is really big, and one of the cripples beat the crap out of another one of the cripples. So, the Donald had this to say about communism.
Crazy because they're going to ruin our country. They want to, I don't know if they want to. I think either they're very naive or they actually want to ruin the country. No matter where you look, go back 1,000 years with different names, anybody doing what they're doing and what they're espousing, everything turns out to ashes and junk and filth.
Look, as I always say, the reason why communism was rebranded to Marxism, was rebranded to socialism, was rebranded to Leninism, it's because it didn't work. You wouldn't need to rebrand it so many times if it would have literally ever worked ever.
You know, one thing I said the other day for the first time ever, never thought of it, but you go to these cities that are taken over by the socialists and the communists, they're always filthy dirty, they're disgusting, they're always dirty, and you know, I'm a clean person, and people I know are clean, they like that, and you are, I know you very well, you're very clean, but they're, aside from crime, aside from all of the other problems, no jobs, no anything, no money, They're always filthy, disgusting, dirty. And that's what you'll get. I think it's crazy because
Don't shower, gay, homosexual. Bro, truly good stuff. Anyway, and he cooked them. So what actually happened was Trump, 16 Trump-endorsed MAGA candidates won their primary. Apparently, one lost and like almost everyone won. Now, here is the crazy update. Hassan Piker is a guy that has been advocating for all of the commies and Islamists and terrorist supporters. And let's just say, one of them won. Two of them actually won yesterday, and it is wild to see. And it's actually pretty good news. I'm very excited about all this.
Literally doesn't matter. He can prep with whoever he wants. He can prep with Benny Morris if he wants. There is no what you support terrorism ? No, I don't. I don't support the state of Israel, and I don't support the state of the United States of America.
I do not support the United States of America, says Hassan Piker.
Literally does.
Right. So Mr. America Deserved 9/11 over here is out there campaigning with people. Now, you might also know him from this clip.
Guys, I love sex, okay? I fucking love sex, dude. And I think it's one of the best things you can do on this planet. And I love to do it with humans, dude. Nothing substitutes, dude.
Nothing substitutes, dude, says the Turk. Anyway, so the point is, this guy is out there campaigning with all the commies, and one of them actually won. So first, this is a DSA guy on Jubilee getting pressed by the most Jewish man I've ever seen in my entire life. His name is Shabbos Kestenbaum. It's like if J.K. Rowling would name a Jewish character, all right? Like, and he just humiliated him.
Do you believe that someone should be able to provide proof of citizenship when they register to vote, yes or no?
Citizenship is a requirement in order to vote.
Not when they vote. I'm not asking that.
I'm going to say
when
yes.
When they register to vote. Now, I want to ask you, when they register to vote, should they be required to show proof of citizenship, yes or no?
What pieces of documentation do you need to provide when you're registering to vote?
In California, almost nothing. I'm asking you, though.
So just to get
you're
you on
deflecting.
record,
No,
you're saying that non-citizens.
I'm asking the question. I just want you to answer yes or no. When someone registers to vote, should proof of the fact that they are a citizen of this country, should that be mandatory, yes or no? I say yes, and you say...
There are already components
you can't
that are
answer.
saying
Why
that.
can't you answer the question?
Because to claim that there are non-citizens, that's a significant problem. That's
the governor of New Jersey literally said this morning that there were at least 6,000 non-citizens who were registered to vote. So I just want to understand from you.
Failure.
I'm asking you, yes, 400 of them did.
Were these
So I want you
6,000
to ask
people
from
that
you.
were applying to vote, or was it
They didn't even apply. They literally didn't even apply.
Exactly. So it's an administrative failure.
Do you believe that's...
Bro, and he just refuses to answer. These people want to rig our country, by the way. They do not care about the Constitution. They don't care about our nation, and they just want to destroy us. So anyway, this guy just won his primary in Michigan.
My whole name is Abdurrahman Muhammad Sayyid. That's the whole name.
All right, so that's his name. And he just wants free health care. And he supports terrorism and abolishment of the Constitution and to jail the United States and destroy us entirely and to invade us with Islam. But aside from that, he just wants free health care. Now, free health care is what we call on the channel commie gobbledygook because it's not actually free. It's just us that's paying for it, for the Abdulrahman Mohammeds. They're not going to be paying for it, but we will. So just understand. So anyway, so Abdul over here, much like his good friend Hassan Piker, is a gooner.
Like you think about if you're on Instagram, my team has access to my Instagram account. And like the things that I actually look at on Instagram, right? Of course, we get served that on your For You page. But then like every third video that scrolls on its own is going to be some OnlyFans model. And it's because it clocked me as being a
gooner. Horny. That's it. Thanks for your attention.
A 40-some-year-old man.
No, that's not why. All right, that's not why. That's not what my Instagram feed looks like. All right, I'm just saying it's because you're a hornball, sir. That Abdulrahman. That's why. Anyway, this is Hassan Piker reacting to the fact that it was a lot closer than he expected, despite the fact that it looked like the guy was going to win by 20 points. He only won by like 2 points. His chat got scared. They started saying nuke Detroit because Detroit is where the black people are, and the black people do not like the terrorists. The black people wanted generic Democroid, and he wanted terrorist Democroid. So all of a sudden his chat started saying we have to kill the blacks. Very, very classic stuff. I mean, in Gaza, you might not be aware of this. In Gaza, there is literally a street, a little community called the Al-Abid community. That's where all the black people live in Gaza. Now, Al-Abid is Arabic for the slaves. They're a very progressive culture over there, by the way. Now, anywho, Al Sayed winning with the young suburban white and college-educated voters. In other words, the groomed people, and Stevens getting the votes of the working class, rural, and black voters. Regardless of his wins, doesn't this turn the DSA leftist premise on its head? Which faction truly represents the most disenfranchised? The answer is this was never about the disenfranchised. The answer is this was about conquest, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your attention to this matter. It was always about conquest. Now, congrats to Abdul Al-Sayed, the first Muslim to win a primary for the U.S. Senate, says Sneeko. Now, remember when Sneeko was grifting as a right-wing guy, right? And now he's literally supporting the transgender party. Isn't it weird how that happened? It's almost like he literally doesn't care about abortion. He literally doesn't care about transgenderism. He literally doesn't care about immigration. In fact, he wants more of illegal immigration. It's almost like he literally just wants Islam to conquer America. Islam will save America, inshallah. Inshallah. Now, listen, I'm doing an analysis of the Quran on my Patreon. Every week we're analyzing more Quran. It's pretty diabolical. It's pretty diabolical. Now, when I say Islam is not a race, all right? It is not a race. It is a political movement. And the Quran is the manual, all right? It is literally a political movement. Also, Dr. Oz is a Muslim that won his primary, according to some of my chat, so that's a good point. So no, he's not the first. But the point, we literally had Barack Hussein Obama as president of the United States. The idea that there's a prejudice here is complete insanity. There's an Islamist problem, obviously. Now, Muslim socialist Michigan Senate candidate Abdul Al-Sayed says this.
I want you to remind them that if we come through this, when we come through this, inshallah.
Inshallah.
That will have taken,
etc., etc. Anyway, so as you can see, he only won by 2.5 points. They claimed that this would be a blowout. If in deep blue Michigan, and let me remind, we'll get to what his voter base looks like in a second, but if in deep blue Michigan, the radical leftoids won by this little, they are giga-fucked if they want to ever actually tackle some sort of federal takeover. Right? This is the best result. If Stevens would have won, then Stevens would have absolutely won the Senate seat in Michigan. No doubt, easy W. But if El-Sayed won, then El-Sayed will likely lose the Senate seat in Michigan to a Republican, and that is insane. So anyway, Sneeko single-handedly making people realize that Muslims are literally here to conquer us. It's pretty insane. So anyway, former Maine and top security official Jordan Dominique, who worked for Abdul El-Sayed's campaign, had this to say. El-Sayed's chief security officer says he's unfit for Senate because he is a security risk. He holds Islamist views and sympathizes with terrorists. He's anti-American. No fucking shit. No fucking shit. Anyway, so Abdul El-Sayed had to immediately acknowledge that actually he loves Jews.
I want to speak specifically to an issue that has been focused on in this race. To my Jewish American sisters and brothers, one of the most indelible memories of this campaign will have been the opportunity to break bread with you at Seder.
Do you want to know why this is so hilarious? First of all, the most cucked Muslim I've ever seen in my entire life. Second of all, aside from Sneeko, of course, who's literally cucked, Jews don't eat bread at the Seder. The Seder is a Jewish Passover meal where notoriously no bread is allowed. Okay? All right, I just want to make this very clear, okay? It's the funniest shit in the universe. Jew lore drop, at the Seder, Jews do not eat bread. Jews eat matzah, those like big cracker things. All right, just want to make this clear to you.
Memories of this campaign will have been the opportunity to break bread with you at Seder.
Really?
To worship with you at Shul.
Sure.
To be embraced by you.
He found some woke synagogue that accepted him.
And listening to sisters and brothers who said, you know, I want to join this movement because...
Anyway, yada yada, he loves Jews, actually. He doesn't actually hate Jews. He only supports Hamas, whose goal is to kill every Jew. But it's not like he actually dislikes Jews or anything. He's not anti-Semitic. Just because he supports the death of all the Jews, it's not like he's anti-Semitic or anything. I just want to make it very clear. Now, anyway, this is his reaction after a Hezbollah terrorist rammed into a Jewish synagogue and daycare and blew his car up and opened fire at the kids in that school. I don't know if you remember, this happened like 2 weeks into the Iran conflict. This happened, and this was his response.
You know, when it comes to Temple Israel, I was profoundly shaken. Many of my friends growing up
worship at Temple Israel. Nothing justifies the heinous attack that we saw on Temple Israel. And you know, I stand in solidarity with my Jewish sisters and brothers for an America where that kind of thing never happens again. I also
okay, all right, that's a pretty good statement. Wow, does it get worse?
I think it's just critical for us to understand that hurt people do hurt people. And
he was just a poor sad Hezbollah terrorist. He just wanted to kill some Jews because Jews. They killed his brothers in Lebanon, so he just had to go kill some Jews. Hurt people, bro.
And the circumstances happening 6,000 miles away can affect the lives that we live here. And if we stand against...
Actually, I don't think there is any excuse for a Muslim terrorist in Michigan to try to blow up a Jewish preschool. Actually. And I don't think Israel killing terrorists in the Middle East is literally any form of reason why Muslim terrorists in America should be blowing up preschools. This is my incredibly hot take. Now, obviously he disagrees because he loves terrorism. But, you know, anyway, whatever. That's just what it is. So this is his voter base. I want to make it very clear because the reason why he won, and this is why it's so funny that he won by such a small margin, Dearborn is his area of Michigan. All right, just want to make this very clear. Dearborn, Michigan is literally all Muslim, and they all voted for him. In fact, this was one of the big rallies in Dearborn, Michigan.
We've been asked in the past, why are our protests on the International Day of Quds, why are they so anti-America? Why don't we just focus more on Israel and not talk so much about America? Gaza has shown the entire world why these protests are so anti-America. Because it's the United States government that provides the funds for all of the atrocities that we just heard about.
That's right.
And this is why
we give Israel 0.1% of its GDP. Time to destroy America.
Imam Khomeini, who declared the International Day of...
Imam Khomeini is, by the way, a terrorist that declared war on us that we killed. W.
Quds. This is why he would say to pour all of your chants and all of your shouts upon the head of America. Malcolm X.
They are literally screaming death to America in the streets of Michigan. And these guys, they voted for Al-Dubra Mahman Muhammad Al-Said. W. Anyway, so here's some interesting statistics for you. Only 4% of Americans vote, and in local elections and primaries, it's only 10% that vote. This is just a true fact. Over 95% of Muslims vote, though, because they view this as jihad. They view voting for Muslim candidates to take over Western nations is their holy war. In Dearborn alone, 98% of Muslims voted for Abdul el-Sayed. All right, these guys, they all voted for Abdul el-Sayed. So this is why we have to deal with this shit. So this is if you go grocery shopping in Dearborn.
If you were to do grocery shopping here in Dearborn, this is what you would see. In my 2 years of reporting on the ground, this is the most shocking footage that I have ever taken. Our country is becoming unrecognizable. I will play this footage without commentary and let you experience it as I did.
That wasn't me, that was the footage. Holy shit, what do they have in there?
Okay, for your...
Yeah, anyway, so I guess we just have to deal with this. Yeah, all right. Anyway, it keeps going, but you get the idea. So anyway, all these guys obviously voted for Abdul el-Sayed. All right, bro, obviously, duh. Now, Abdul el-Sayed's father-in-law, a top donor to El-Sayed Super PAC, is among the top leader of the Muslim Brotherhood organization. Wow. Linked to terror funding? That's crazy. Wow. That's insane. I can't believe it. Now, Chuck Schumer is saying that the terrorists that are taking over their party is actually a good thing.
And Manu.
Thank you. Is the rise of the DSA good for your party?
Look, we are a big tent party. And being a big tent party is a strength, not a weakness. And Manu.
Dog, you are going to get crucified by these bastards. All right. So anyway, currently, this is what the Michigan Senate race actually looks like for those of you that are unaware. All right. So the cripple fight has resulted in a Democrat L with the terrorist winning. So now it just ends up, will the Republican actually win a Senate seat in deep blue Michigan because he's going up against a terror supporter? This is ultimately the question. Choose your candidate, Michigan. This is basically what it's all about. Now, El Sayed campaign backed by over $100,000 from dozens of members of groups with alleged terror ties. Abdul El Sayed took over $115,000 from foreign terrorist organization CARE. I don't think CARE is officially registered as a foreign terrorist organization here, but it is in multiple places, like in Florida. It is registered as a terrorist organization, and then they make believe that this is the party that's going to fight against foreign influence. That's right, Israel is conquering our nation, and I will be electing Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed and Aisha Faruqi to fight against Israeli and foreign influence into our nation. That's right. Now, John Fetterman, the Democrat, John Fetterman, goes on CNN to just basically lambast them because, hey, why are we electing terrorists?
Georgia, in Texas, we have great ones. But, I have a real problem with people that are proud to campaign people that loved Hamas or that they love communist kinds of regime and under those kinds of policies overall. And that's why I'm saying objectively as a Democrat in the Senate saying that puts that seat in danger. And now that could, and now people like Sanders, after what he's done in Maine with Plattner, and now it's like it's creating more kinds of chaos. And now it's like, will you own the blowback and making it much more difficult?
The only smart Democrat is the one with a tumor, by the way. So the Donald had this to say, and I'm really glad. He had a very similar take than I did. I didn't even know he was going to say this until I was researching the video, but I was like, bro, this is great news. Great news for the Republican Party. El Sayed, a communist loser who hates Jews and Israel, is the projected winner in his race with the socialists. As usual, the polls were way off on this one. She did not expect to do nearly as well as she did. Now the Democrats' crazy policies will only get worse. Now, the crazy update is we might actually win in Michigan. That's one. And two, literally look at what they're electing. They are an anti-American death cult at this point. It's over. Now, Mike Rogers is the Republican that is running against El Sayed in Michigan. I spent years hunting terrorists and bringing Osama bin Laden to justice. Never in a million years did I think I'd be running against someone who believed that America deserved 9/11. Dog, we literally have this as our Senate race in Michigan right now. Literally, John America versus Abdul Rahman El Sayed, bro. Dude, I've never seen this in my entire life. This is crazy. All right, so now Democrats in Michigan are like, nah, I can't vote for the terrorist guy. What the fuck?
If El Sayed wins, I will not vote Democrat. I'll switch over, and I'll vote for a candidate with character, whoever that might be. If El Sayed wins, I will not vote.
Bro, Democrat Michigan's the cripple fight is having casualties, ladies and gentlemen. The cripple fight might end up with both sides losing. Now, I love a good cripple fight. Now, Democrats are getting played. This is an Abdul El Sayed supporter explaining that voters are stupid, so we just need to lie to them.
People aren't stupid. This politics of no translation is going to be the way forward.
No, for sure.
Hassan says, no, for sure. We just have to trick the losers into thinking they just get free shit.
Money in your pocket, Medicare for all. No one has to decipher what the hell that means.
That and I just want people to be like,
yeah, we just need to like trick them into thinking that we're like not gay. So anyway, Michigan Senate candidate Mike Rogers, right, is going nuclear on Fox News about this guy.
If you woke up this morning thinking we're still California because Wayne County still doesn't have their vote count in, you may be right. Our election system here in Michigan is broken. We're going to do a lot of work between now and November to help get that thing at least back in some semblance of order. First of all, think about it. He just came out a few minutes ago and said that he won the race, so he's declaring victory. This is really about the heart and soul of our country. I have never seen someone so radical, so extreme, get nominated by a political party. And the DSA candidates in the state in two different congressional races look like they're pulling it off as well. The Democrat Party is lost to this hardcore socialist attitude. And I fought terrorism my whole life. I was an FBI special agent, U.S. Army officer, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee.
Literally, John America is going up against freaking Muhammad Al-Akbar guy.
I find it shocking that I'm going to go up against a guy who believes America deserved 9/11. That's why this race is so important, Lawrence.
Yeah, he was with Hassan Piker, who had that viewpoint.
I love that Hassan Piker is literally poison.
You know, he may have that viewpoint, but he's very slick, and there's a lot of people that find his message inspirational.
People really like his message when he says, I'm going to give free shit to the poors and take it from the whites, the white people. Anyway, so Abdul El Sayed has said, quote, he is more concerned about Gaza than about Detroit. Bro, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? So Abdul El Sayed winning the Democratic primary by only a few points is the best possible outcome for Republicans in November. He was expecting to win by double digits. The betting markets had him winning by 12 to 15%. Underperforming this badly with such a deeply divided Democratic Party is how Republicans have an outside shot at flipping this seat in general. And that is correct. The fact that it was this close when it looked like he was winning by a landslide is just absolutely massive W for Republicans. Now, Bernie Sanders gets asked the hard questions. Hey, Hassan Piker said that America deserved 9/11. Are you okay with that?
To give you an example, one of the more controversial ones is that Piker has said America deserved 9/11. Are you comfortable with that association?
No, I am not. I think that's a dumb statement. On the other hand, he has a whole lot of followers, and there's a lot of things that he's saying that are making sense.
He has followers. I know that he said that America deserved 9/11, which I kind of agree with as well, but I would never say it. But he has a lot of followers on social media. I especially like how his followers vote, and they're stupid.
To a lot of people. I think, we have to get above cancel culture.
We have to get above cancel culture, says the people that invented cancel culture. I know that we've invented cancel culture, so every time a right-wing guy says something a little too scary, we have to immediately make sure that we fucking shoot him with an orbital Jew beam. All right, I understand that. I understand that this Taku guy, I don't really know him. He's a blue Jew on the internet. He's fully demonetized. But we have to get above cancel culture exclusively when our party supports terrorism.
When you're doing radio, whatever they do, podcasts 3 hours a day, you say dumb things. I suspect if you go back over your career, there may be one or two things that you said that you may have regretted.
I have never said anything even remotely close to the tier of America deserved 9/11, and to think that's not the only thing he said. He's literally endorsed the assassination of multiple senators. Like, this dude fucking sucks, bro. He's actually evil. Holy shit balls.
But I think what we have got to do is look at the totality of where people are coming from and go forward.
We have to look at the totality. We have to look at the totality. People love terrorism, and terrorism sells. So we have to make sure that we win the terrorist vote. That's just how it works. He has lots of viewers.
So when someone like James Carville says he doesn't want to be in the same political party as Hassan Piker, which one are you going to take?
What a stupid guy. What a dumb fuck.
Well, that's not much of a choice. If Mr. Carville doesn't want to be in my party, the party that I belong to, that Piker, that El Sayed belongs to, he can start his own party. But I think we need a big tent, and I think people like Piker should be welcome into that.
Literally everyone welcome. If you're a terrorist, you're welcome. If you're not a terrorist, you're welcome. What a fantastic day to love terrorists. Everyone loves terrorists. Terrorists arguably are some of the strongest voter bases in America, because terrorists have like 7 children each. And Americans are gay, and we're polluting their minds on purpose. It works very effectively. I especially love when terrorists vote. That's my favorite part. Hopefully without voter ID, because if we had ID, maybe all the Abdul Rahman Al Sayeds would not be able to vote, and we could not possibly live in a country where the terrorists don't get their time in the spotlight. We have to make the trillionaires pay for the terrorists to vote. It's very important. I would say millionaires, but now I am a millionaire. Now that I am a millionaire, I don't want the millionaires to pay taxes anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I only have 3 houses. I'm poor. Some terrorists have 5 houses. I love those terrorists. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is the left is just a terrorist party, and the cripple fight continues. You see, if we had an option to import 1 million New Guinea cum warriors, I would be all for it, because they would definitely vote for us. You see, the Republicans are not a fan of New Guinea warriors forcibly raping young boys in order to imbue them with the warrior spirit, but I say all cultures are equal, and they would definitely vote Democrat. So I would vote for 1 million New Guinea cum warriors to enter our nation as long as they vote. If they don't vote, they can't be here, but if a terrorist is willing to vote, they should live in America. You could quote me on you could quote me if Bernie Sanders is in my name. You could quote me on that. What you see here is a man with a very small head campaigning for a woman with a very small brain.
The reason why I brought up Michigan is because I think it was Michael Moore in 2016 who said, Michigan's not a swing state. And neither is Wisconsin. These are not swing states. They've been turned into swing states because they've left you behind. But we are going to bring back the working class to both Wisconsin and to Michigan.
Meanwhile, all of the working class votes against his candidates because his candidates are all just like the terrorist candidates.
A Republican will never be elected in this state ever again.
That sounds like fascism to me. Shake's nephew admitting you can vote your way into communism, but you can never vote your way out of it. A Republican will never get elected again. Well, that doesn't sound very democratic. It's almost like they don't like the Constitution and want to destroy our country or something. That's wild. Anyway, so we have to talk about the person he is campaigning for, Francesca Hong, for governor of Wisconsin. And she is a special kind of tard. It's diabolical listening to her speak.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did marry. My proximity to whiteness continues, right? My son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean. And
I hate half of my son. I hate him. He's half white. Oh, why does I have to have a half white son? My son is half normal and half white. Could you imagine having this as a mother?
I think.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that she was literally admitted into a psychiatric facility because she hated being Korean or something.
Navigating.
Also, she literally married a white man.
What his identity is and how people perceive him is always at the back of my mind as well.
Poor bastard, half white. He gets everything for free. Everything for free. Anyway, Francesca Hong also made a call to assassinate Trump lately.
In the restaurant industry, when we're out of something, we say it's 86th. And I'd say it's about fucking time we 86 Trump.
The Democrat Party is literally just, we're going to kill you. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Represents the utter failure of our government to keep us safe from threats, both viral and systemic. In the restaurant industry...
That's right, baby. The new Democrat Party is just like, oh, we're going to kill you. That's it. That's it, by the way, for those of you that are unaware. Now, it gets even better from there. Now, of course, my favorite thing about the cripple fight that's going on the left right now between the center-left, which are a completely stateless, partyless, moron community of idiots that ushered in the communists, and they're up against the communists that they have welcomed here. It is a cancer of their own design. All right, that's the craziest part. So Fox News asked her about Hassan, because my favorite thing about Hassan is how Hassan Piker is literally cancer.
Is there anything in that list of what you told Hassan Piker that you disavow now?
No.
No, she especially loves the America Deserved 9/11 part. That was her favorite thing. Now, get ready. Wisconsin governor candidate Tom Tiffany leads Francesca Hong by 3 points and has outraised her by 8 million. So Francesca Hong, she'll win the Democrat primary because the Democrats literally love terrorists. But then the Republicans beat them because the normal person doesn't like the terrorists. It's insane. It's crazy watching this happen.
One thing that might help persuade them is how you're going to get your message out, and money is an important part of that. Francesca Hong has $715,000 in contributions January to June. Yours almost $9 million with cash on hand at about $3 million. That's very decisive. How do you plan to get your message out and combat what will certainly be a lot of media attention on this race?
This is a clear contrast race, Dana. I mean, we see big government.
Yeah, so anyway, ultimately, you have these radical leftoids, these complete morons getting obliterated in public wherever they go. And then, essentially, the right-wing people just win the popular votes. That's, I think, what we're going to be seeing, and it's hilarious. So, Wisconsin governor winner odds. This is the funniest shit in the universe. Republicans, 56%. Democrats, 44%. Up 35% because the Democrats elected another terrorist supporter, allegedly. Isn't this amazing? Francisca Hong, literally living an existential crisis every day. Am I Mexican or am I Chinese? It's truly a diabolical existence. It's insane. So I have never seen something like this in my life. You don't understand. The Democrats were slaughtering in Wisconsin, and then they decided to elect this fucking bitch. And they elected someone that's just insane. A Chexican, as they call them. Now, Francisca Hong has famous tweets like, I support defunding the police. It's a first step towards abolishing the police. Again, they're literally just anarchist freaks. And our college system is grooming and churning out a generation of dipshits that votes for them. So this is Francisca Hong. And this is her collaborating with the guy that said America deserved 9/11 and the lady that said that there were 11 world wars. Again, it is truly the coalition of our dreams, baby. Now, of course, the DSA keeps losing, too. Representative Wesley Bell, this is another one of the Hassan-endorsed people. Not him. He destroyed Cori Bush, which is the Hassan-endorsed freak. Anyway, this is what the DSA's platform actually is, though.
This is actually something that we committed to at convention, having our endorsed candidates supporting the program. It's a requirement now.
Right.
And so that'll be incorporated into our endorsement process.
It sounds so radical, like abolish the Senate, abolish the Supreme Court, like et cetera, but it's not. Like those are the things that need to happen.
So
right. So essentially, it's an entire party that's literally planning on dismantling the U.S. government.
Whenever people are like, oh my God, they want to get rid of the president, I was like, well, I don't know what we would call it in the future. We could call it the head honcho of whatever, like it's like we might not have a president. This is actually something.
So anyway, it literally is a group of meaningless women that were rejected by every man their entire life that desperately want attention and desperately want to destroy society because they blame society for their flaws instead of the fact that they're vapid, nefarious bitches. That's right. All these ingrates could not actually have a decent, happy life as a married person, so they decided that instead of actually working on themselves, they were going to fix society. That's right, baby. The DSA is the Abolish America Party, and it's actually picking up steam. Now, Ted Cruz, actually, who I recently, whatever, I can't talk about that, actually. Ted Cruz, patriot, by the way, apparently. He asked a really interesting question.
Does the Muslim Brotherhood also partner with political groups such as the Democratic Socialists of America?
Yes, sir, they do.
Would you agree that this alliance between the Muslim Brotherhood and the DSA, otherwise known as the Red-Green Alliance, is based on a shared hatred of America, Israel, Western civilization writ large, capitalism, and democracy?
Yes, sir, I would. And I would go further as to say it's also united around a revolutionary objective advocating for the overthrow of the U.S. Constitution.
Well, that's literally what they say with their own words. So understand who this witness is. This is a terrorism professional guy, and we have this literally being said in the Senate right now. It's pretty wild shit. All right, now for some good news, Congressman Shri Thaneder just lost his primary election to the Socialist. And for those of you that don't remember this fucking idiot with the wig over here, you might remember him as the guy that tried to impeach Trump like 17 times and he killed a whole bunch of dogs. All right, you might remember him for that. So this dude, all right, he recently was coming under fire because he didn't know the areas in his own district that he was representing.
I don't know. What are the 5 Grosse Points cities?
Oh, no way.
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that...
I'm not here to answer a quiz like, what do I represent? That's stupid. You're stupid. I am intelligent.
I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my and Grosse constituents. Pointe. And all of the Grosse Points and all of Taylor and
every
course.
Every
and them too, of course. I love them. I love
Can I just
them
do this
too.
real quick? Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay. You know, on your campaign filings, it says occupation. Yours says United States government. Aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
man.
Yeah, I am. Okay, you fix that.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one.
Yes.
The beagles. You abandoned the beagles, left them to die in their
left them to
cages.
die.
At your
I
pharmaceutical
love
testing.
animals. See, look, I don't know.
Right, I forgot about the beagles. It happens to everyone. We don't care about beagles. If it was a cow, I would love it. But it's a beagle. I don't give a fuck about dog. Anyway, so this guy, it's a miracle that he was even elected. I mean, we know how these people get elected, right? The way these people get elected is simple. The Democrats organize importation of an entire community. The entire community becomes a voting bloc, and then they put these dumb fucks in power.
But they talk about my hair. They talk about my hair. They talk about my appearance. They talk about where I was.
You look like an Oompa Loompa. Of course they talk. Of course they talk about your appearance.
Born.
Bro.
They talk about everything. My looks. They talk about my age. They talk about why I should be deported back to the country where I was born.
Yeah, where was that?
They talk about my past business dealings and they distort.
Because you were a scammer, bro. Allegedly, of course, allegedly. Now, in my favorite clip of him of all time had to be this one. I actually covered this like a year ago, but it is easily my favorite clip of him, and I try my best to make sure everyone's aware that these people that are elected by the dumb fuck I was going to say a word that's very impolite on YouTube. The absolute dipshits, right, that we're importing en masse, that are putting these people up to control us, all right, literally to destroy our civilization. They know nothing. They know nothing. It's unreal.
There is this raging argument now about whether it is constitutional to do what Trump is rolling out in places like Chicago.
It's unconstitutional. The solution is empower the local law enforcement.
Congressman, are you familiar with the Insurrection Act?
Yes, I am. And this
so
is
what do you
not
think
the time-
that's for? You said that this was illegal for the federal government to send National Guard into cities and states. What do you think the Insurrection Act is for?
Congressman, do you actually know what the Insurrection Act says?
Well, look what we saw happen in January 6th in the Congress. That's insurrection.
Are you familiar with what the Insurrection Act
Yes, I am. But
allows?
look, this president has used all kinds of excuses to break the law. This president has used...
No, but that is the law. So what is the law, Congressman? You say you're familiar with the Insurrection Act, but you don't seem to be able to describe what it does. What do you think the Insurrection Act does?
Look, the issue here is that we need our cities safe. Americans want...
Do not redeem. Do not redeem the Insurrection Act. Insurrection is like Capital January 6th. Talking point. I was told by Ilan Omar. Ilan told me to say this. After I hit them with the World War 11, I don't want to start World War 12. World War 12 would be very bad. World War 12. Illegal war, insurrection. Bro. So anyway, this is literally what we're being governed by, because the Democrats import these little ethnic enclaves. They vote for their fucking dipshit, and their dipshit manages to fuck over our country. And we have to deal with these people. And you know what this guy does? He votes to bring in more dipshits. It's unreal that we let this happen. This is like an obvious exploit in our civilization. Now, Charlie Kirk, 3 days before he was murdered, had this to say.
The spiritual battle is coming to the West, and the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low-crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school, while also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. That's important. We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. The spiritual battle is coming to the...
I miss him so much. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much I miss this guy. And they contort his words. All right, do you ever see his so-called friends, the Tucker Carlsons, the Candace Owenses? Do you ever hear them saying his message at all? It's absolutely unreal what they did to this man. This man was the GOAT, and that's why they killed him. And it's unbelievable, unbelievable. And honestly, he gave me the courage to start talking about politics and God, and I get a lot more up in arms when I saw the absolute evil that's going on basically everywhere. And I'm, it's heartbreaking, but we all have to do our part and our best. And hopefully stand up to the challenges that God gives us. But ultimately, we have to recognize what the enemy is. And you have to understand that this is a threat to our civilization. And no one wants to talk about it, man. No one does. Well, Asmongold talked about Francisca Wong because she's just an absolutely hilarious car crash.
Oh my God. Listen up, Republicans. Loses in a blue way. Is this really that bad? It's actually completely changed. It's almost
Look
like...
at that! This is the Wisconsin governor seat. They were winning by a landslide. It's a blue state. And then they flipped to red because they elected this absolute dumbass.
Like electing mentally ill terrorist supporters isn't actually a good way to win a general election.
Abolishing policing is one segment of reforming and reevaluating our criminal justice system.
Abolishing policing. All right, why don't we start with your security? Well, I mean, Oh, here we go. This is Thanksgiving.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021. You said Americans should cancel.
Is it just me, or do all these people, not only are they like dumbasses, but they all look like little fairy tale creatures? Like, my guy, she looks like a gremlin. She looks like you left her out past midnight and didn't give her to eat or something. Like what are we doing? She actually looks like Smeagol with a wig. And then we'll abolish the police and destroy the Constitution. Every immigrant is welcome here. We love the terrorists. Look at them wriggle like fish. Dog, literally, this is what we're dealing with.
They brought up as well was a post from you in 2021. You said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621.
My hospitality background and
should have canceled Thanksgiving. Native Americans were so wholesome. They didn't scalp each other or anything.
owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good
Isn't that what they...
And then she literally getting interviewed by Dylan Mulvaney over here. It's an entire, like, bro, what happened? What happened to the leftoids that turned the entire party into, like, dysgenic freaks? Like, I don't understand. It's almost like corruption and evil on the inside bleeds into the outside. It literally does. Dog, she looks like Master Oogway. What are we doing?
Thanksgiving supposed to be?
But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think...
Our community? The fuck does Thanksgiving have to do with you? I get if you're a Native American and they say, yeah, Thanksgiving, like, fuck you guys for doing what you did. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Sorry, but that's just what happened, right? Nothing personal. But you're fucking Korean. You can't use this. You can't carry this cross. With the anti-white socialist, am I?
All non-whites are basically the same, suffering from whiteness. As you can see from my watermelon pro-Hamas jersey, I love the terrorists. Jews.
Anyway.
I married a... It's what we've said many times. Revolutionary in the street, colonized in the sheets. Every single fucking time. Francisco Hong describes having a half-white son as being in proximity to whiteness. That poor fucking... Bro, imagine this is your Spawn RNG.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did...
Assimilation took over. I love how this is like, you're using the past...
Why is this a bad thing? I don't understand. She's like, oh, I came to America, now I'm like American. Oh, I wish I wasn't. I wish I was like a different guy. I wish I was like a terrorist and stuff. That would have been so much better. Oh, I really hate being assimilated into the culture that I moved to.
Voice. You married a white man. You married a white man of your own volition.
My proximity to whiteness continues, right? I'm my son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean, and I think navigating, you know, what his identity is and how people perceive him is always at the back of my mind.
He used to be my daughter, but now he's my son.
As well.
That must be so weird to have a person like this as your mom.
I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at a Culver's in Black River Falls and told him they ran out of ice cream. Mostly just wanted to leave because I was on the verge of an anxiety attack. Too many old white people who didn't think we spoke English.
Can you imagine that? That like your mom is like saying that you have like racial guilt for half of your ancestry? Like, oh my God. Like, it's actually like fucking traumatic. Imagine throwing away such a generational lead. Remember what I told you guys? I thought the DSA is the best thing that can happen to the Republican Party. It is the end of the Democratic Party.
I've been saying this too. It's a cripple fight, and we are the victors. That's right, baby.
And like this.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. We are going to sit here humbly doing our thing, do nothing, win. That's right, baby. That's the strategy. These guys will beat the shit out of each other, and then and blessed are the meek, for we will inherit America.
John America, Mr.
That's
White
literally what I called him.
Bread, Mr. I think mayonnaise is spicy, is gonna probably be the new governor now. Oh, Francisco Hong rallies with Ilhan Omar and Hassan Piker. Wow,
I
that's
love how Hassan literally. She's even looking at him like, and I will take his ring, and my precious, I will forever endure. Look at literally look how she's looking at him. It's crazy. Look how small his head is. Is it just me or is Hassan getting fat?
it's really, he's getting fat again.
No! All right, we both saw it. It's over.
I can tell.
Yeah, it's rough, buddy. That's rough, buddy. Holy shit. Yeah, anyway, the Democrat Party is literally just a dysgenic circus, and we have to make believe that we're not noticing. I keep seeing a lot of people think that, hey, this is some fringe stuff. It's not like there's a full takeover going on. It's only like a 1% situation. It's really not, though, actually. All right, so Jake Lang is a protester guy. He went to Dearborn, Michigan, and literally almost got stoned to death.
Court, ICE, we do not want these illegal immigrants here. Jesus is king of Dearborn, Michigan. I speak the name of Jesus.
Oh, shit. They literally attack him and try to kill him for this stuff. Now, I'm not saying he's not a dumbass for other reasons, but, like, this is crazy. All right? So this is a guy, Imam, announcing that nobody can stop Islam in America. It's not your country. It's the country of Allah. Like, are you serious?
If it goes back to Europe, a lot of Muslims in Europe. I've been there recently. You go to Africa, you go to South America, you go to China, you go to Malaysia, you go to Japan, you go to the Antarctic. There's Muslims. So I would make a suggestion.
Now, Tucker Carlson is
if he wants to go somewhere where
that this isn't a real thing, but they say it is a real thing. Isn't that weird?
Wants to put a Muslim ban. He wants to ban Muslims. We will tell him this isn't your country to ban. This is the land of Allah, as every land is the land of Allah.
Yeah, anyway, just understand this is what we're dealing with. I'm doing full deep dives on the Quran, literally going through the entire Quran on my Patreon, and it gets spicy. Now, the thing is, this is in Indiana.
Allah, what type of Islam is the best? I want to know how I can be the best. This is the type of attitude we want to develop within ourselves. We want to cultivate this attitude. How can I aim even higher? The Prophet ﷺ is asked, which are the best of deeds? Jihadun fi sabilillah. Then you have to go fight as a warrior in the path of Allah. Qala al jihad fi sabilillah. That you have to fight and give your life and fight for Allah's sake.
Best thing you could do? Die. Die for jihad. That's just the best thing you could do. Now, I don't think that that's American values, to be honest, and I don't think these people should be here. I know that that's apparently a really hot take, but I actually am not a huge fan of this. Now, again, this is wild. One of my favorite stories is when a devout Muslim peaceful warrior went to his imam and asked him, Imam, I just want to know, am I allowed to get fucked in the ass to extend my butthole so I could fit explosives in it for jihad? And the imam said, while getting fucked in the ass is a grave sin in Islam, since you are doing it for jihad, it's okay. This is a true story, by the way. I didn't even make that up. That's a real thing. I covered that in a previous video. So anyway, 45,000, quote, soldiers took Dearborn, Michigan for a celebration. Again, this is a city in America, all right? And I'll be real, it's only getting bigger. These guys are churning out babies, baby. It's unreal. Like Papa John's churning out pizzas.
Examine closely whether the building of this mosque is right for this community. I personally say no to Sharia law. And
again, and this is everywhere in the country. Hundreds of North Carolinians stormed the town council meeting to say, hey, we don't want you to build a 5,000 square mosque in the middle of the city, actually. We would really not like that if possible. All right? This is in Indiana. It's everywhere, by the way. Now, earlier this week in France, this dude encountered charming NGO workers who were literally colluding with human traffickers to get foreigners into our countries.
So you can see these NGO workers here who have been helping the illegal immigrants during their journey, now very happy apparently. Guys, est-ce que vous parlez anglais? Est-ce que vous parlez anglais?
Non.
It's a public place. It's a public place. C'est un lieu public, no? You're facilitating illegal immigration, madam. Beware, this is a criminal offence. It's a criminal offence.
Don't worry, they won't get punished. Now, if I say what I would want to say, I would get removed from YouTube. But I do think that these people should be executed for treason. All right, I would be a lot more graphic on the style of execution. But I personally, again, I'm not calling for violence. I want legal execution for these people. Make treason actually punishable by death again. Like, we need to do this shit. It's unreal that we can let this happen. Like, these people are literally opening the gates of the Shire to the orcs. It's unbelievable that we allow this to happen and not punish it whatsoever. All right, now, Asmongold had a pretty diabolical take. A lot of people are canceling him for this one.
Always, this is emotional blackmail, right? Well, you can't shoot these people. They have kids with them. Well, then don't bring your kids. If you don't want to get shot, then don't bring your fucking kids. It's really simple. You mean you'd shoot adults and deport the kids, right? Well, I'd shoot whoever. Yeah, I'd shoot whoever. I mean, if it's kids, women, men, anybody, just shoot them. They're going to stop coming over.
The truth of the matter is, we have to stop even calling it illegal immigration. It needs to be called invasion. When there's an invading force entering your nation, you have to remove that invading force. Now, it's the same argument. It's like, I can't believe Israel is killing kids. 20,000 kids died in Gaza out of 70,000. When statistically, it should have been half. Sounds to me like there was a lot of casualties. Also sounds to me like Hamas was using child soldiers. Also sounds to me like Hamas was using human shields. If you didn't want those kids to die, you shouldn't have started a fucking war. And it's like this all over the place. And I am so tired. I have so much fatigue, libtard fatigue, homosexual ass governing forces trying to manipulate us into thinking that I don't want to target and kill children, but we need to defend our borders. And we need to do it by any means necessary. I don't care what we're dealing with. Oh, but he literally has a back. He's wearing his kid as a vest. Sorry, man. That sucks, bro. That absolutely sucks. Now, the Red Cross is handing out free food to thousands of Moroccan Muslim invaders who illegally entered the Spanish city of Ceuta. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we feeding them? They're invaders. We should be removing them. Now, of course, Spain said that they wanted to deny Ceuta migrants food and water to get them to leave. But not only was this a lie, but also that's a genocide. So Spain just genocided Moroccans, for those of you that are unaware. At least that's what I was told was genocide. It's when you don't give food to people that are literally trying to invade your country, rape you, and kill you. I was told that that's a genocide, so, well, they're there to stay forever. In fact, Spain's Ceuta seeks transfer of over 1,000 unaccompanied migrant minors to mainland Spain. And this is why they use children. Because the homosexuals in charge of Western civilization are not going to say no. They're going to say, oh, the poor baby. Well, the poor child is going to end up an adult. That's right. The 17-year-old boy is going to end up becoming a 30-year-old man with 8 children. All right, I'm just saying. That's what's happening. A 2025 reform to Spain immigration's law says unaccompanied minors will be redistributed from overstretched territories. My guy, these are invaders. What are we doing? It's unreal that the West is killing itself this way. Now, they just had a debate about this in Oxford, and Oxford has completely fallen. Basically, I only saw one little clip of this, where someone in Oxford said, to prove to you how peaceful Muslims are, we're literally not killing you right now. And it's like,
This is one of the most brilliant setups I've ever seen in a debate.
Make Vlad the Impaler great again.
Anticipating your opponents, how they're going to try and stop you, and how you use that to make a statement.
It's time to show that I will not submit.
You can hear the protesters outside throughout the entire thing. The person who organized the debate made a shocking statement. If it were not for their protection, Tommy Robinson and the other people would be torn apart by the crowd, which I'm not sure is good for your side of the argument.
Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting against you tonight, and without the protection and generosity of a Muslim Palestinian president and a mostly South Asian executive committee, you would be quite literally cooked.
This is what they are.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? It's absolutely fantastic. It's like the Muslims are really trying to kill you because they don't like your opinion. The Muslims want you dead. The good news is, in your country, there are laws against that. So the Muslims aren't literally shredding you to pieces. Thank you for proving everyone's point. It's like, what are we even doing here? Like this is fancy Oxford. Aren't you happy that Muslims aren't literally cannibalizing you right now for your opinion? Man, that's crazy. That's wild.
There to debate the issue of freedom of speech around this topic. Lawrence Fox took this concept to a whole nother level.
Call upon Mr. Lawrence Fox.
And this is the moment that went massive. He set it up very cleverly.
I'm just going to explain to you, one of the reasons why I didn't want to start quoting Quran verses was because I didn't want to come here and start talking about, it says here that you chop people's heads off, it says here that you do that, and it says here that you do that. I'm sure that there are very, very, very many verses in the Quran that talk about peace and love and happiness. It's just all we get is the bombs, the running over, the knives and the beheadings. So I'll move on if that's all right. Thank you very much. I'm done. Move on. Thank you very much.
He touches right on the point
All right.
that I think is most important, that this is not about the Quran. Yes, we have freedom of religion. You can believe in Harry Potter if you want, as long as you don't start enacting wizard wars in the real world.
Freedom of religion ends at the skin level. Sorry, man. There are also laws.
That's what the debate is about, truly.
Do we have a right to be suspicious of those who reject our values and the societal norms of their host country? 24% sympathise with violence organised by groups to protect their religion.
What does it mean to protect your religion? If someone draws a
Draw a picture of Muhammad, we're going to kill you. That's 24% of the people in England.
Cartoon of Muhammad, is it justified to protect your religion to say, nope, can't do that? And that's the point he makes.
So, let's get this out, shall we?
Oh, boy!
78% of British Muslims believe that no publication should publish pictures of Muhammad.
Anyone who were to do what he's saying he's about to do would have a target on their back for the rest of their lives.
Dude has balls.
An overwhelming majority. That rises to 87%. That's 9 out of every 10 Muslims that are walking the streets today in a country which absolutely abandoned blasphemy laws.
And I'm watching this thinking, wait, if he pulls this cartoon out, will I even be able to show this on YouTube?
Suspicion is not strong enough a word. The West should resist Islam in the strongest terms on free speech grounds alone. So here we are with this cartoon, right? And
oh shit.
It's time to show that I will not submit.
And you begin to see the hall start to panic. People start to interject to try and stop this because this is forbidden.
This is free speech. This is the purpose of the debate. Are you kidding me? If they try to stop him, he wins the debate. This is like checkmate.
I will not adhere to the religious laws of far-off places. Now, my wife asked me not to show this for fear of repercussions in my family.
Just that idea is insane. And by the way, as someone that gets tons of death threats, I totally get that.
But I told her that if I did not, then I had already submitted to Islam. So here we are.
Is it not enough that half the team that invited you to this debate were Muslim women who wanted to hear out your experience?
Look at that. Look at that. You're literally losing. Do you not realize you are literally losing?
And your arguments.
Is it not enough that you are here and we allowed this debate?
We're letting you speak. You don't have the right to speak, but we're letting it happen. We're not even killing you right now.
This, sir, is a bridge too far. Do not pull out a cartoon.
Is it not enough that I, as a Muslim president, have invited you to this chamber to give your arguments? Is that not enough justification and evidence for you to believe that we do believe in free speech? I would not become the president.
We believe in free speech so much. We even let you speak, but only in the way we want you to. Otherwise, we'll kill you.
Of a free speech society is not for us.
Thank you, Lara. May I? Thank you very much. May I finish? Excuse me.
Oh, next guy responds. Let's go.
Another guy from their side stands up.
It's a long time since I've been in this chamber and knew the rules off by heart, but in the House of Commons, and we model ourselves on the House of Commons, props are not allowed.
Props are not allowed. Props. How dare you? It is like a cartoon.
This is absolute cinema. Look how they're also terrified. Look at this.
I wonder whether the rule on props is the same in the Oxford Union.
I thank the honourable gentleman for his point of order.
Excuse me, for 1 second.
One moment.
In the absence,
Mr. Fox, one moment, Mr. Fox. The ex-president is also raising a point of order, I think.
And then something interesting occurs. Someone stands up in the back that pushes this forward.
Just so it's helpful to inform the ex-member and others, at least my 4 years involved with society, that ban was not extended and didn't seem to apply to Israel and Palestine flag.
Let's go, absolute patriot.
So right,
all these guys coming out there with their freaking flags as props. Get out of here.
To wrap this up,
I am going to rule on the point of order.
And props to the moderator for allowing him to do this.
There is no bar in the forms of the House against the use of props. However, I would encourage Mr. Fox to make the point and move on.
I was until points of order. So it is in that spirit that I will not submit that I show you this as an Englishman who believes in free speech. I will not submit. I will not bow down. Right. So,
bro,
I think
he fucking murdered them. Point proven. Dude, this was Giga Brain.
Rather proves the point I was trying to make. That in this envelope lived your fear.
He read his opponents perfectly, and that is why this is going so viral.
And your fear of Islam and what Islam will do to you that when you upset its very oversensitive sky wizard. And what lived in this room is a healthy and brilliant and noble British tradition of suspicion of Islam. I encourage you to pass the motion. Thank you very much.
When the president of the Debate Society steps up, her argument is, look, the majority of the victims of Islam are also Muslim. So Islam is killing more Muslims than non-Muslims. That's her argument.
That's not real.
That's still not a good thing.
So who is Islamist violence actually killing? Not the West. It's Muslims. 91% of everyone killed by Islamist terror.
This is like Hermione Granger being a bitch in Harry Potter. Actually, the house elves should all be freed. We should give the house elves their own autonomy. Get the frick out of here, man. The house elves love being slaves, okay? All right, that's not the moral here. The moral is, obviously, Muslims live around Muslims, so they kill them more. They also kill Hindus. They also kill Jews. They also kill Christians. In fact, they kill everyone that lives around them in every single country throughout all of their history. Okay, so yes, they mostly kill Muslims because they're mostly around Muslims. They also kill Armenians and Owlites and Druze and Jews and Christians and Hindus, actually. But yes, they mostly kill Muslims because they're around other Muslims most. Dude, this is wild.
Terrorism is Muslim. The Taliban has killed 69,000 people, ISIS 58,000, Boko Haram.
So you want them here? It's like, bro, this Islamophobia is so tiring. The only people who should really have Islamophobia is Muslims. Sharks mostly kill fish. So why are you afraid of sharks? I can't believe you're sharkophobic when literally most of the victims of shark attacks are fish.
25,000 people, all of them nearly Muslim, killed by men who called themselves the only true Muslims on earth.
You're making your opponent's argument. Continuously throughout this thing, there are these small little self-owns that if you look close, you can spot them.
I'd also like to congratulate Aisha on her first great speech. And I'm sorry that your family aren't here today to have watched that. But it wasn't my supporters that have attacked them outside. It's not my supporters who are causing a rabble or smashing the place up and attacking police officers. It's not supporters on our side of the debate either. It's supporters on your side of the debate who are out there causing mayhem. Yeah?
It's not a good look when you have this level of a security threat coming from your side of the debate.
Should the West be suspicious of Islam? Well, the truth of that is it's going to depend.
He admits, okay, yeah, you should be concerned about Islam if you bank, if you issue loans, if you drink alcohol.
Okay, it's going to depend if you're invested in pornography, if you're invested in alcohol, if you're invested in interest banking, if you're invested in drink, drugs, criminality, then probably you should be suspicious of Islam, because Islam has come as an alternative way of life to that. Islam.
Someone on the opposition.
Oh my God, he literally just proves the point. He proved, yes, I am against all of those things. Sure, I guess, whatever. But that's not the point. He's just admitting that Islam is here to conquer you. Islam is here to colonize your nation and reestablish their own worldview. And you're right, pornography is bad and drugs are bad and stuff like that, but they're also there to do lots of other things. Like, for example, they're going to make sure that they pass modesty laws. They're going to pass Sharia law in general. They're obviously going to pass blasphemy laws. They're going to, etc. They're going to give you dhimmi status.
This is their hand.
What is it?
Could we add Judaism to that list?
Sure.
True! Oh my God! Literal checkmate.
Does that apply?
Like, sure, of course. If you like Judaism, then yeah, you probably have an issue with Islam, you know, because we like killing Jews.
To Jews, and he says, yes, Jewish people would be included in that. Okay.
And are you in it as well? Are you in it as well?
The speaker will be heard.
Are you in it as well? I don't mind taking out the lot of you, mate. I don't mind. It's not a problem.
There were a few small little moments that insinuated violence. Now, some of this could be just misspeaking in the context of the debate. No, I meant take you out in terms of the debate.
In the debate, of course. In the debate, of course. It's important to debate.
Gentlemen, please take your seats. Both of you gentlemen,
He just said he doesn't mind taking us out. So we have a Muslim again.
Yeah, in the debate, of course.
Mr.
In the
Sacred
debate, of course.
Can I ask you just...
Hassan Piker wants to kill capitalists in Minecraft. Am I right, guys? Rastaback says thanks for the 5 subs.
To take your seats.
And this gave his opponents the opportunity to pounce on that.
A threat to take out people on the other side is unacceptable.
Totally.
And should be dealt with by the
Mr. Doward, have you made such a threat? And if so, I must ask you to withdraw it.
It was a threat within the debate, to take them within the debate, because we're in a debating forum.
Sure.
Given the context of the debate, not a good choice of words. Probably meant it in terms of the debate.
Probably not,
Let
but
me
okay.
know what you think.
Can I ask you in
I was only sarcastic when I said I wanted to slit the infidel's throat, but it was only in jest when I said I wanted to put your heads on pikes.
In that case, to moderate your language.
I tell you what, I will retract that statement.
And avoid the
I
misunderstanding.
will retract what I said, if that's a doable thing. Tommy would also say that there was an extremist group in Luton. No, there was an extremist group in Luton called Al Marjaroon. I agree with him.
He says, yep, Tommy's right about that.
Yeah, he's right about the rape gang and the invasion and the changing your laws. But
well, I was the guy they trusted to be the go-between between mosques. Then he goes on to claim it was like 8 guys with another 8 guys. They don't really talk to each other anymore.
That small extremist group doesn't exist anymore. I believe they've been disbanded, and they don't even hang around with each other anymore.
You know what the Muslim terrorist rapists are up to and who they're friends with? Bro, we're not serious. This has got to be a joke.
Know in detail.
This is like saying that, the Hamas terrorist that invaded Israel on October 7th is actually just a reporter. I'm sure he is.
About this group of Al Marjaroon, because I was one of the trusted go-betweens from mosques in Luton that was trying to get them to stop talking.
I was trusted by the terrorist rape gang to be the go-between. This is not a flex, my guy. What are we doing?
Who? The media? Or like, what does that mean? I'm not sure that's a good thing that you should brag. The rape gang trusted you.
A go-between between the Al Marjaroon group and the mosque was me, because I was
the mosque, where they learn about Islam, and the rape gang, where they perform acts that are completely horrible that probably have nothing to do with Islam. He was the go-between, actually. Dude, what are we doing?
Trusted go-between. Even though I was anti this group, they still trusted me to go.
Even though he's anti-rape gang terrorists, the rape gang terrorists still trusted him. Look at that. Look at him. Look at this guy. This fucking guy. Look at him. Man, beloved by rapists everywhere. Well, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty great.
Between them, and I know that most of Luton didn't want them there. I would love to say more. There's a lot more beans that I could spill, to be quite honest with you.
So there's even more that
I can tell you about so many more rape gangs, but for brevity's sake.
Could tell us. This is an example of how ego can backfire on you. It's not a good thing, man, to be in the know on that.
There is not a single head on anyone's hair, apart from Tufts', that I would touch unjustly, and that's inside and outside of this hall.
But notice he said unjustly. I'm not going to kill any of you unjustly. Doesn't really say anything because the.
I can't. This is a joke. This is an absolute joke that the homosexuals in charge are letting this happen. Oh my god! First of all, what an absolute buffoon. Literally incredible stuff. But like, it is insane that we have to make believe it's Islamophobic to talk about this stuff. Oh my god. I would not touch a single hair on top of a goat's buttocks unjustly. Unjustly, you say? Now, in possibly one of the biggest political gambits I've ever seen in my entire life since Trump 2016, we might be witnessing one of the craziest things ever. Now, again, YouTube literally, I demonetized my entire channels, I think, because of my coverage of specifically the British rape gang situation. All right, that's my suspicion. Obviously, I don't know because, again, they didn't tell me. But all my channels are demonetized, and I am suspicious of this. So I am very invested, obviously. I feel like I bled for this. All right, so anyway, Rupert Lowe just pulled off one of the greatest political moves ever. I don't know exactly what it is. I was just told exactly what the people told me, that apparently he wanted to merge parties of Restore Britain with Reform Britain. All right, which is the, like, moderate right-wing kind of, in my opinion, controlled opposition party in England. That's like, we're right-wing, but of course we want to keep bringing Muslims into the country. And it's like, I don't know, actually. I feel like you're a little bit of an op. So anyway, he offered them to join parties, and then apparently he completely trolled them afterwards. So this went super viral. This one video has 4.6 million views on Twitter alone. And apparently he completely undercut his opponent.
Nigel.
Now, Nigel is in charge of the Reform Party.
When we were both elected at the general election in July 2024, the five of us all knew that we had achieved something truly remarkable through starting the process of breaking the two-party system that has strangled and suffocated Britain for so very long. It was a special moment, and it was an honour to walk into that building as part of our group of 5 MPs.
Aww. Didn't Nigel Farage eventually, like, kick him out of his party because he said he was too radical and he tried to destroy his life and get him arrested? I mean, aside from that, they're probably besties.
Treasured that then.
Look, I've been trying my best with British politics. God damn.
And despite everything, I still treasure it today. However, now in 2026, we're in a very different place. The landscape has changed dramatically. Our differences over the last 18 months are well documented. I do not agree with how you remove me from Reform, but let's not recycle those same arguments.
Look at that guy, the bigger man.
I want to move past that. The country we both love is changing beyond recognition. Millions of people feel like strangers in their own communities. They work hard, pay their taxes, obey the law, and yet they see no fair reward for any of that. They see a patriotic right hopelessly divided. They see hard work punished and indolence rewarded.
That's right.
That is why today I'm reaching out to put personalities and our past disagreements aside.
The bigger man. By the way, I already love this guy. By the way, I think he's incredible. This is everything I want to. This is like good leader shit. You know, past aside, we can be friends. Damn, bro. Damn, this is like, I mean, obviously, not exactly, but like King David comes into power, he immediately like wants to befriend all of the people that were literally just trying to kill him a week before. You know, like this is biblical. This is a big man. All right, I'm just saying, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty incredible stuff.
For the good of the country, we all so want to succeed. To ask one simple question: how can we restore Britain? If we agree on 5 fundamental principles, then I believe we can, should, and must find a way of working together in some form to make it a reality.
The 5 pillars of Islamophobia.
Reform has taken a path that has moved its core offering away from what I believe is necessary to restore our country. On many issues, we agree. On others, we do not. But I'm hopeful that a common way forward can be found and forged. But any agreement or cooperation must be based on the following values.
This is like a checkmate, by the way. I don't even know what he's about to say, but this is a checkmate. Because if he refuses to do this, then that means he doesn't believe in the following 5 things. This is really fucking smart, by the way. Like, really smart. Very calculated. And also just upstanding and gentlemanly. Oh my god. This is going to be wild. By the way, I love covering British politics because I feel like that's just us in a couple of years. All right? If we let our, Marxism, Islamism problem fester, we will be in this spot.
Policies and vision. First, restoring our borders. Ending mass immigration is not enough. The hour is just too late for that. It must be reversed.
That's right,
As you
baby.
know, Restore Britain has taken the unprecedented step
Oh no! But a child might be crying. We should tear up the Constitution.
of publishing the most comprehensive deportation policy ever produced in British politics. That plan must be implemented in full and to the letter. Every illegal migrant must be deported.
That's right, baby.
And yes, that must include women and children.
Obviously.
Our plan has outlined exactly how that can be achieved.
You don't need to be the world's nanny. The idea that the offspring of the invader gets to exist in your country and be fed by your citizen is absolutely insane.
Achieved within one parliament.
That's right.
You.
But the children! I don't care that your bioweapon has spawned. I do not give a shit about that. With all due respect, it sucks for the kid, but we need to have a country, obviously.
Previously stated that mass deportations are a political impossibility. Not only must mass deportations become a political possibility, mass deportations must become a political inevitability.
Good shit,
they
dude.
must all go. Legal immigration has caused even more damage. Restore Britain's policy is simple but sound. If a foreign national is living in Britain, yet unable to speak English, refuses to work, lives
right,
in
baby.
social
Get him
housing,
out.
hates our way of life, or even wants to do us harm, they have abused our generosity, are incompatible with our high trust society,
Patriot.
and they
That's what I'm talking about.
made to return.
It turns out, not literally every single person on the planet has some sort of right to your taxes.
To their own countries. There will be those in reform who do not agree with the robust nature of such measures, but I believe it is entirely necessary. Millions must go. Second,
Oh my God.
restoring
That's right,
our
baby.
demographic security. It is projected that white Britons will become a minority by 2063. Nothing demonstrates the demographic vandalism
That's right,
of
baby.
mass immigration more than that. importing millions of people from third world nations.
Like, I love how the Great Replacement theory went from a far-right, harmful white supremacist conspiracy theory with no basis that brings violence against browns into just literally what's happening, and everyone acknowledges it, and it's open, and everyone knows it's going on, and the left literally wants to kill you. Isn't that incredible?
Is changing our population in a way none of us ever wanted or voted to support. It is unacceptable, and it cannot be allowed to happen.
Bro, literally, like, think about how insane it is. You want to genocide our nation. I don't like that. Are you on board? And he's not going to be on board. Oh my God. He's like, so what you're saying is, by the fact that you're not agreeing with me, you want the genocide of white people. You want to import the cannibal hooligans into our nation. You want sand muggles to take over. This is the younglings voting for Anakin policy that no one has ever anticipated.
We must be unafraid to grasp that nettle. However painful the establishment backlash may be, Restore Britain has committed to reversing the Islamification of Britain, and that will not change. The level of influence that Islam is exerting, even now, on our Christian way of life is unacceptable. Any future cooperation must include the banning of both halal and kosher slaughter, the burqa, cousin marriage, mass dominating public Islam.
The fact that cousin marriage needs to be said. The fact that your moderate right-wing party in the United States, not in the United States, sorry, in the United Kingdom is still fighting to let cousins fuck each other is unreal. Unreal, brother.
Islamic prayer.
By the way, a lot of you are unaware of this. Do you know how much British tax dollars go to fund child deformities because of cousin marriage, because of inbreeding? There is an unbelievable amount of it. The Jews are catching a stray. Look, I said this before and I'll say it again. Realistically, he cannot say we're banning halal and we're leaving kosher slaughter. I understand he needs to do what needs to happen for his nation to survive, and that includes getting Islam out of the country and not letting it have a stranglehold. Realistically, I get it. I totally get it. You know, this isn't going to kick Jews out of the nation necessarily. Jews have lived in England for hundreds of years, and they will import their food. All right, they will import their kosher slaughter. All right. My opinion is this is based.
Sharia courts and any other barbaric foreign practices that have no place in our high trust society. Britain is a Christian country, and we must ensure it remains that way. If we cannot agree on that, then there is simply no way forward. The recommendations from our independent rape gang inquiry must be implemented in full. That includes the deportation of foreign national accomplices who were aware of these heinous crimes and yet failed to act. I know you have publicly disagreed and that this was the source of our previous difference of opinion, but it is a firm red line. If a Pakistani woman knew her husband was repeatedly gang raping a vulnerable white English girl, yet failed to act, she should be sent back to Pakistan.
Straight
I hope her
facts.
husband is not so fortunate.
That's right, he should be executed.
And on that, third, a referendum on restoring the death penalty. Axel Rudakabana, Hashim Abedi, Shabir Ahmed. Keeping these monsters alive, and hundreds just like them, achieves nothing. The British people must be given a full, free, and fair referendum on the reintroduction of the death penalty for the most monstrous and undeniable criminals. You have opposed this.
Look, again, it's a it should be a culture based on biblical values. The Bible is very, very upfront about the death penalty. Like, dude, what are we even doing?
Previously. And that is why letting the British people decide
I see someone in my chat saying electric chair, and you're thinking small. I'm thinking public execution. I'm thinking guillotine. I'm thinking decapitation in the public square. That's more my line of thinking, personally.
Is the right thing to do. I will, in that referendum, without a shadow of a doubt, be voting in favour. Fourth, restoring a self-sufficient Britain. Britain must live within its means. That means controlling spending, cutting welfare costs, and making difficult decisions to bring inflation under control and restore sound public finances.
Yeah, the economy is in the shitter.
That can power itself.
For those of you that are unaware, the economy in England is worse than the economy in any of the 50 states of America. Mississippi alone has a better economy than England. Okay? You have to understand.
Feed itself, defend itself, restore Britain's uniquely comprehensive policy papers are already addressing these challenges. To fund that, enormous cuts must be made. These choices will not always be popular, but we must be prepared to think in generations, not just election cycles. Governed by what is right for Britain, not for what will simply result in better polling.
That's right, baby.
Difficult, unpopular decisions are now required. Not short-term politicking, but long-term,
He's totally right.
hard planning.
That's a real man.
That will ensure we leave a better Britain.
That's a
to
strong
our
man,
grandchildren
baby.
Than the one that was handed to
Strong
us.
man makes personal sacrifices.
Fifth,
That's masculinity.
restoring the country's faith in politics. The British people have entirely lost faith in Westminster. That trust will not be restored by recycling the same ministers, advisors, and thinking that created today's problems. Former Conservative ministers who failed our country and our people in so many appalling ways must not be part of any future cabinet.
That is so base.
They had their chance.
Oh my God. Boomers in Congress out, baby.
And they failed us all. That must not be rewarded with a second opportunity. These principles of restoration will be offered to the British people on the ballot paper at the next general election, with or without your cooperation. My sole aim through Restore Britain is the implementation of a properly considered policy programme that will start the process of desperately needed restoration for our once great country. I do not care how that is done. I only care that it is done.
That's
right,
right,
Nigel,
baby.
My message is simple. If you are prepared to work together around serious policies, serious reform, and serious government, then so are we. Not because it's politically convenient for Restore Britain, not because it's personally easy. After the events of the last 18 months, I would certainly rather not be making this offer. But millions and millions of British people deserve a patriotic government that puts our national interests before any personal differences that you and I may have.
This is the future of the right wing, by the way, in all of the Western world.
If you disagree,
Strong men are going to rise up, and strong men are going to say, I don't give a fuck about the politicking. Millions have to go.
that is your choice. Restore Britain will be ready for what comes regardless. I truly believe there could be sufficient common ground for our two movements to cooperate collectively, destroy the looming left-wing alliance that will finish off what hope remains for this country. We have recently shown how effectively cooperation can work, locally on the Norfolk County Council. So why not at national level? In my view, failing to even try because of our own personal difficulties is simply not an option. The British people deserve nothing less than our best and sincere efforts to make it happen.
Damn, bro. Bro.
Now
He's cooking
is
him.
the time
It's
to
over.
put our
If he
differences
says no to
aside
this, he's done.
and cooperate for the good of the country that we all love.
Bro, all right, dude, that's a banger. We must take our country back. Strong, absolutely fantastic, brilliant political move that cuts the ground from under the critics' feet. It literally does. This is like a checkmate. Hold on, I have to see the quote tweets. Bro, this is a giga brain move. Rupert is trying to put personal differences aside for the good of the country we love. This is the messaging of a true leader. Bro, this is huge, by the way. Now, apparently, he then said this. I do not want to make a private conversation public, but Farage has just done so at a national press conference. He's just stated, he said to me yesterday, shall we have a call? Sadly, that is just a lie. Yesterday at 10:30, Nigel messaged me saying the following 3 words. Will call later. The evidence is below. I still received no call. Senior Reform figures then went to public to rubbish my offer. Yesterday's offer was not one I wanted to make, trust me. I don't particularly enjoy trying to work with people who attempted to put me in prison on false allegations. My house was raided by armed police because of them. I was willing and still am to put that aside to cooperate in order to save our country we love. God damn. That's why I did what I did yesterday. Our 5 conditions are principles by the overwhelming majority of Reform membership and the wider country believe in. Mass deportations of illegals and deporting millions of foreigners who are a drain on our society. Securing our country's demographic security. Reversing the Islamification of Britain. And implementing the recommendations of our rape gang inquiry. This includes deporting foreign national accomplices of the rapists. My backing of that was the very reason Farage removed me to begin with, giving the British people a referendum of the death penalty, restoring a self-sufficient Britain through the difficult decisions that will require delivering a country that can feed, power, and defend itself. No failed conservative ministers who are responsible for the destruction of Britain in any future cabinet, not sack them. Oh my God, not sack them or remove them, just not hand them the same power they previously abused to demographically vandalize Britain. These principles are essential to the restoration of the country we all love. It is disappointing that Nigel does not agree with all that. Restore Britain's mission to provide that genuine democratic alternative at the next general election in every seat to every voter. However, that offer remains open to Nigel and Reform, although outright lying about our private conversations does not help that. Oh boy. For Restore Britain, it will always be country before party, ahead of any personal differences or past disagreements we have. Every single time the country is more important, and I will always put it ahead of my own interests. That I promise you. My message to the patriotic right is this: back Restore Britain, and let's ensure that these 5 guiding principles have the best possible chance of being implemented for the British people. Restore Britain is the only established national party standing on that platform. Whatever debate may come later, support Restore Britain now, and together we will always force that vision into political reality. That is how we collectively can and will restore Britain. We'll work with anyone that can make that happen. And this is the message from Nigel Farage saying, "We'll call later," and that's it. Damn, bro. Damn. That is crazy. So Nigel Farage lied. He said yesterday he offered him to have a call and he declined. And that's just not true. My God. And then he said this on the news.
I'm just trying to sort the country out, and I think that's what most people want. They don't want this sort of internecine battle going on between anyone who might help sort the country out. So we've made the effort. I think it's now incumbent on them to come back with a clear message, and we haven't seen a clear message or heard a clear message yet.
Yep,
it's been a very muddled
they're scared.
response.
They roached out, baby.
1 minute it's call you later, the next minute it's some form of, as I say, muddled statement, which came out last night from Nigel. Then we've had interviews from Yusuf and Tice today saying they weren't going to engage. So look, I don't know, where does the truth lie, Dan? I think they need to get themselves in a room and work out what they want to do. And we've made the offer. It's there. It's in good faith, and let's see what they've got to say. If they haven't got to say anything, we're just going to carry on as we have, as we have done this afternoon. Put out some proper research. I'm just trying.
God damn, what an absolute coward. Unbelievable levels of bullshittery. I mean, obviously he doesn't like that this just happened, because now he looks like an absolute total twit. He looks like someone that can never, ever be trusted in politics, literally ever at all. And he just looks fantastic that he's willing to put their issues to the side, literally for the good of the nation. This was a giga brain move, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I am hoping that Britain gets restored. You know, our civilization in America started from them. You know, for whatever it's worth, we kicked their asses in a Revolutionary War. But you know, I'm still grateful for their contributions, and I would love it if they weren't an Islamic country with nuclear weapons that's literally within range of obliterating us. That would be awesome. Hot take, I would actually prefer that. So yeah, make Western civilization again. All right. I think that it needs to come back in big time. I wish our countries would actually come back to their Christian roots. I really do. I mean, I've heard people make the joke that I'm the only Jewish Christian nationalist. Realistically, I mean, I think that our value set and ethical, you know, overlap is huge. And I think that our civilization is worth protecting. Anyway, thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, I feel like I bled for this movement. I got demonetized on YouTube. I think because of the British stuff, I got a video taken down for insulting queer Starmer before. All right, I got my entire channels got demonetized after covering the British rape gangs. Again, I don't know what it is because YouTube refuses to tell me, but I do believe that it's this. If I had to pick a thing, I do think this would be the thing out of all the things. Realistically, it fucking sucks for me, and your support helps me be able to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm, you know, analyzing the entire Quran on my Patreon, as well as other videos. Lots of videos that are requested. Adventure Time on over-analyzing different shit. I'm doing like 3 or 4 videos a week over there. If you want to support me there, that would be incredibly appreciated. But we got to restore the West. And I'll be honest with you, ever since Charlie Kirk's assassination, I have been incredibly motivated. To my own detriment, I'm not going to lie. To my own financial detriment and obviously safety reasons. I get unbelievable death threats. I am incredibly motivated to fight. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not planning on stopping because I'm not getting paid by YouTube. Hassan is getting fat and we are running out of time. So thank you so much for your attention to this matter. And thank you so much for your support. You people are incredible. You're not gay. And that is the greatest thing anyway. This is a community for the heterosexuals and the homosexuals. If you want to watch and give me watch time and stuff, I mean, you can. But you should note that I do not approve of your lifestyle, but I do accept your views, like on my videos. Not that I get paid for them, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is this is a very wholesome, loving, and accepting community. Whereas racists and homophobes are rejected from so many spaces, you are welcome here. You are welcome here in a very inclusive, humble space. You see, diversity is our greatest strength. We accept bigots of all walks of... All right, anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is I appreciate your support. I do videos on Patreon like 3 to 4 times a week. I stream on Kick. I will be starting to stream soon on Rumble whenever my Rumble guy gets back to me with all the stuff. So that's going to happen. We stream there. We do the things. I upload videos to Rumble. The truth of the matter is I'd be totally fucked without you, and I am incredibly grateful for your support. We are taking back the West one day at a time. The crusade does not stop here. I'll see you in the next one. Stay weird, homies. And remember, a man that dresses as a woman is an abomination against God. That's not my opinion. That is a quote from Deuteronomy. So YouTube can't possibly demonetize me from quoting Deuteronomy. Joke's on them. I'm already demonetized.